started as a simple idea. Produce 1 million liters of oil in a single calendar year. No shortcuts, no handouts, just me, a line of credit, and a stretch of land here in Ray County, Missouri. The rules are simple. I've got 10 years to build an operation capable of doing the impossible. The first few months, I can't plant, I can't build. I can only take contracts. How well I do determines everything. My budget, my line of credit, and how far this dream can go. To hit the goal, I'll need 18 oil factories and more than 2 million liters of crops. Canola, sunflower, or even rice, we'll see. But there's a catch. If my net worth ever drops below zero, it's over. The bank freezes me out and I am forced to sell to stay alive. So here in Ray County, it's not just about farming anymore. It's about building an empire 1 liter at a time. This is the 1 million liter oil challenge. Today, we harvest soybeans and spend more money than we've spent in a single episode. Let's get started. So that's the first big amount of money we're going to spend, and we're going to keep building out this farmyard one piece at a time, but let's get to know our new production. So in here we can dry barley, canola, corn, oats, sorghum, soybeans, sunflowers, and wheat. And we are going to need propane, so we're going to need a trailer that we can buy propane from the co-op, bring it on over here. It's the way I want to do it. But the soybeans are going in here, and potentially we might do canola for a little bit before we switch to oil. If we go look at the dried prices here, dried canola is $2,800 compared to a regular canola of $1,100, so it about doubles. And if we also go look at oil, which I believe is just, it is going to be canola oil specifically. Canola oil, so we might think through that. We might think through that a little bit when we get to that point. So, but we know we could store it in here at minimum. So we could put it in here and take it out, I believe. So this isn't active yet. We're not going to need it active until we start harvesting. Let's take a look at the used market. Nothing good, but we are going to buy a harvester today, not a forage harvester. I think we're going to go with a New Holland. And, we haven't done that a lot on this channel recently. So I'm going to do it. We're going to pay cash for this. We're going to go back to combinations. And we'll start with the 28-foot header, and we'll buy a little header trailer for it as well. And that does leave us with $127,000, which we're going to be careful with because we do have about a $7,000 payment now that we have the full line of credit taken out. I'm hoping that's short-lived. We're not going to get quite enough to pay that off from the lettuce, but I have a feeling when it comes time to sell the dried soybeans, I think we might be able to pay off the line of credit again. So we'll have to learn when those prices do peak and see if there's anything else we can do, and see if we can sell those before planting season at minimum. I'm hoping it's not all the way till July. If it is, it is. We have enough runway here, and we'll definitely get a ton of money back from the lettuce. But at the end of October, after we get everything we need, because we're still going to get that trailer for propane a little bit, and we might upgrade and swap out the type of grain cart we have as well. Undecided on that so far, but that's why we still have the 127 in the account, and we'll be paying interest on that money while we have it. But the farmyard will start looking better. We're going to keep slowly building that out, and I might do a little bit more decorating and adding grass and just finish the field, completely turn the old field into grass for now so it looks a little bit better. We'll probably do that in a little bit while we're harvesting. But we are going to set up auto drive today, finally start getting into the end game, I like to call it, of harvesting and running our farm. And now that we have that silo, it should set us up to be able to do that. But let's go ahead and we're going to take advantage of our neighbor's open field here and just park the header trailer about right there. Get this unfolded as well. This gets a little bit more capacity than the Massey Ferguson that we were leasing, but not a huge upgrade. So this is definitely going to be the first step of getting our long-term harvester. Just kind of go in here, and I do want to shut off swath dropping. We're going to disable it. We're going to get the mulching state instead, and I think that'll help with the yield bonus. So we will start by setting up course play here. We're going to do 2 headlands. We're going to go to lands instead of ups and downs, and we'll let that generate, and we will start the job. And while that gets started, we're going to go ahead 50 minutes for this field. Okay. We're going to go ahead and take a look at grain carts, because what I do want with auto drive is one that does not have the rotating axle. I think I'm using the right word there. And something like these root offs, we want this fixed so this doesn't sway, so that the auto drive drivers are able to handle that a little bit better themselves. The Brantner is absolutely the one that I love. Can we pay a little less for that? 65,000. All right, well, let's grab the trailer and let's take it in and sell it. Like I said, we want to be somewhat careful. We can always sell lettuce because we do need to swap out our water tank for one that can do water and propane. And we'll learn those rates as we harvest. So I'm not 100% sure how much propane we're going to need, but we'll learn that as we go. Yeah, and the reason for doing the swath dropping or not doing it is because the soybean straw just wasn't worth much money versus buying the equipment, baling it up. I'd rather get the extra bonus if it does leave the mulch state instead of just the harvested. And this treated us well while we had it, but I think it is time for an upgrade. So let's go ahead and repair this, and we will get about $27,000 from it. That's not terrible. And I think that makes me a little bit more comfortable to buy the one I want. We're going to do without the extension. We'll go ahead and purchase it. We still have $88,000. But we did mention last time, and this horsepower, we might want to switch tractors and use the stronger tractor for this. And we'll do that when we get home. But we did talk about possibly not keeping the New Holland. I'm going to give it a couple cycles. If it's only the weeding where I really dislike it, then I don't see any reason for swapping it out right now. We can just use the smaller weeder until we do have a better one. But I'm going to get all the auto drive stuff configured now, and we'll give you an update on how the harvest is going when it's time to finally get that production up and running. Okay, I got everything set up, and I realize swath dropping is still on, so we might this time around, I guess. I don't know what we're gonna do. I just really don't want to pick up all the straw, to be completely honest. We might lease something to take care of that. Undecided at this point, but going decent. We should have the combine waiting. I do have it here, trying to get this all configured, but I still want to test some of this stuff. So let's, whoops, that broke it. Let's go ahead and have them exit the field and cannot generate a path. All right, we're getting ready to see the magic happen. See if it's gonna work. I think we have everything configured. Should see our tractor in the distance start moving here in a second. And the interesting thing is gonna be, are they gonna run into poles and trees? They're doing a loop around following the course we created, which should get them back to the main road and back over here. Looks like it's working so far. They have arrived. And we'll probably have to do some adjustments just like we do on every save to get them to start unloading on the go, but it looks like they, yeah, we'll have to get those fixed, but everything's working good. And back at harvesting. And yeah, we'll figure out the straw next time on the other field. I think I am just gonna erase the straw. I don't want to deal with it, guys. And just to kind of finish the thought, I would not do a round baler, and I would at minimum lease this. $8,000. It might be worth it. I'm being lazy. All right, so planning the future here. We're gonna go into barrels, and I think what we're gonna buy is this $25,000 one. Let's go ahead and get that purchase, and we will take our other New Holland. Did not know this was going to turn into a New Holland playthrough, but it won't. And after we get the propane, we will definitely finish up the grass area here, so this looks a little bit better. while we still build it out. Down to 62,000 to get us by until we can sell the lettuce though. And we're supposed to be double checking our net worth. So I'm going to put that on cruise control. We're going to take a peek at that. Yeah, right now we're at 800,000, so we're good. We're still solid. We can't dip below that. Otherwise, we have to sell things to get back to a decent net worth of a positive. So that is one of the rules, but that's kind of a... It's not going to happen. We're good. Our net worth's never going to dip below. We got enough land, and the collateral being only 80% kind of allows that to happen. All right, let's head on over to the co-op. We're going to fill this up and at least buy 8,000 to begin with. We're going to find out how expensive this is going to be. I have a feeling this is going to really eat into our money. Propane doesn't seem to be that cheap. Last time I did this on a playthrough, so we'll find out. Man, this should be the location here to fill this up, or not. You must first fill the tool. Well, that's disappointing. All right, we'll head over. I guess we'll purchase one of those and see if we can just buy propane. We'll look into our mods here. Otherwise, we're just going to do some calculations and fill this up and charge ourselves for whatever propane running rate of well, let's see. Can we go this way? Find propane. Buying at the co-op propane. We're going to tag that. I guess I could take a look at the itch diagram again as well, but I'm pretty sure we're at the right spot. Oh, maybe this is propane over here. That was anhydrous. I take it all back. That was anhydrous. This is propane here. Okay, that is right. So this should work just fine. Yep. Oh yeah, this is going to be pricey. 24,000 for 8,000 liters. All right, I don't know how much we're going to need to do all of the soybeans. We'll do that calculation as we get to it, though. Harvest still going good. I don't know if they've unloaded them again, but not super excited about the soybean yield. You know, not huge numbers. Peas seem to be pretty good compared to what we're getting with soybeans. And they got a good chunk of this field done already. We have 4,700 in the combine and only 14,000 in the grain cart. So, a little sad about that. But huge field to our left should really save the day on that. We've cleared plenty of area over here for this. So, we'll go ahead and deposit the propane. And let's get to know this a little bit right now. So, if we go to soybeans, for every 50 soybeans, we need 3 propane. So right now that's enough for about 53,000 liters. So we'll leave that there for now. And let's do a little quick detailing session. And I think that's going to be much better for now. We still got some terrain to kind of mess with here. But yeah, this looks much better. Let's jump in the sky and take a nice clean look at it as well. Just a new production here for drying. And yeah, we'll keep expanding. Got a little bit of clipping there, or render issue. But yeah, it's coming together. Not our, you know, it's a start. It's a start. I'm not super thrilled with it yet. Don't know exactly how we're going to finish it. Just letting it come out kind of naturally here. All right, they're unloading on the go. We got everything configured perfectly. This is awesome. Sweet. So they're 68% full. They have 21,000 liters in there. So we know we have enough money for 53,000. We're going to get more than that, I have a feeling. So we might be selling a little bit of lettuce to get us by when it comes to the drying process. But the other thing we probably should get to know is when those prices peak. So dried soybeans all the way in June. Okay, so we are going to have to hold on. We're not going to make a bunch of money off of this till June. So if we don't have the money to buy the propane, we can wait till February to buy more, and we should be able to get them to be dried by June. The production, 4,800. So how much does this do a month? We do lose a little bit because it is 50 and 45 get spit out. But since that is mass when it comes to liters, it's not necessarily the count of soybeans. It makes sense. They dry out a little bit. So it's going to burn through 240,000 overnight. So we shouldn't have to worry about when we get the propane. So we can, you know, dry as much as we can. If we're in a real pinch, we could sell what is dried, wait till we have enough money to buy enough propane, because I do want to hold on to a little bit of cash between now and planting season, and getting through till we can sell the lettuce in February or January, depending on how that unfolds this time around. All right, we decided to lease this. I did set it to 240, so we will get the biggest bales, and I remembered that we only had 37% yield bonus when we did soybean straw last time. So I'm hoping this does give us well more than what we're paying for this lease, which was about $8,300. So let's get on over there. We'll start picking up the straw. Gives me something to do while they're harvesting. Definitely needed something to keep the time going for me. Yeah, I don't like the farmyard. It'll get better. It'll get better, I promise. All right, I think we can go ahead and activate this. And start picking this up and have it automatically drop for us, and we can just cruise around, get all this straw, and we'll see how much money we make off of it. Should be, hopefully, more than break even. They're unloading. I don't think they're gonna get everything that's in the harvester into the grain cart, but the first harvest is done, and I just am a little disappointed in the yield. Maybe my eyes were bigger than, you know, reality, my appetite there, but that is definitely, I think, gonna get to it. Oh, maybe it won't. Not even gonna fill that up once, but we will send it on over to the dryer so we can get that process going. And we're doing pretty good catching up here on picking up the straw. We have 28 bales already. Does show up in time-saving stock check. We do have $16,000 worth already, so that is pretty solid. So let's go here, and they should be just doing it on their own. Let's open up auto drive, waiting for room to unload, but you're full. So what's your major exiting field? They're just slow. They're just slow. And we do have 2,000 left in the harvester, so 30,000 in the Brantner and 2,000 left over, so 32,000 there. Yeah, not something to be that super excited about, but it's more than nothing. If they do sell at $6,000 per liter after we lose a little bit, I mean, I guess that's a good amount of money. $180,000 from this field. This is why I wish I knew what peas brought in. I think it was over 200,000 without drying them. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what's best for us. We are currently starting a 2-hour harvest here. We've got all of our auto drive going. We're going to get back over and finish doing the baling myself, and we'll probably give you some small updates on this. I'm gonna do a lot of this off camera, but I'll keep you guys updated on how it's going with the soybeans. It's a foggy, very foggy November morning. We are heading in to sell the straw. We made a decent amount. We got the harvest done overnight. I was worried it was going to go into the morning, but we did get it done before midnight. Did not have to lease the square baler for another day. It looks like the fog's starting to kind of go away, but we got a good amount of straw to sell. I did clear enough to start getting them mulching that field. We did get this field mulched over here last month, so we do see some weeds growing at this point, but you can see another stack of bales right here. There's more in the big field still, and there's another stack in front of us as well, but we're going to start getting these sold. I will give you an update and show you how many soybeans we're drying. It did go through all of those overnight and through the morning, so that production is super fast like we expected. But let's get some of this sold. We'll take a peek at that, and we got to keep that field moving, but we're going to get all the way through selling lettuce and to the point where we can start next episode by planting again. So let's see. We discovered via the map that we should be able to sell bales here, and we can. So that was 12,000. We do have at least 2 more loads, probably about 3 or 4 to be honest. So let's take a peek at the production now. So looking in here, we have 96,230 soybeans left. So we lost a little bit with the drying. So it went from, you know, it looks like about a 10% ratio. So not bad, but looking at time saving stock check, max value, it says 7,100. I don't see that on the price fluctuation. I see it a little bit lower, but if that's the case, $688,000 just from that. And right now lettuce is looking at 200,000. So time saving stock check is showing us almost with $1 million of revenue coming in. Pretty exciting. We're going to get the rest of the soybeans sold here, and then I will probably need to get the rest that are on the field done first, and I can get these ones I have prepped And then at that point, once they're done mulching, we'll be able to move to December and possibly January whenever those prices do start to peak for the lettuce. And that's about it today, but I'll keep you updated on the money we make from selling the soybean straw. I'm not going to keep it. It probably could have kept it and got a little bit of money, but I'd rather get it out and get the money now. And I might skip a little bit of time to get this fog to go away too. It's pretty intense, especially right here. Oh, so much better. Yeah, you can see a good amount of straw still to pick up. So I guess we have 3 loads. We have that one over there as well. So yeah, good amount of trips left still. So a decent money in straw. You probably saw the number in time saving stock check. Let's make it so. And selling a little bit more here. Oh, we didn't get the full amount there, but our total is up to $42,000. Let's keep it going. And we are selling a partial load here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. If I can drive straight. Puts us up to $48,000. We got 3 full loads to go. This should be pretty quick. Just got to go pick those up and bring them on back. Not sure what just happened there, but we got more sold. And we're up to $78,000 with 1 load to go. And the last bit of soybean straw here brings our total to $92,000 before getting to selling lettuce. So it's time to get home, get those prices to a good spot for us, a good peak, and get it all sold. All right, we just about made it December, but we are gonna pay a little bit of this line of credit off. We have $92,000 in the account. I'm gonna make a payment of just $60,000, just to be, you know, getting that interest down a little bit less over the next few months. Now I'll see you when lettuce is good. All right, they're not quite at the complete peak, but they're definitely at a point where I feel comfortable selling them. So we're going to pick up a full load here, go get them sold. We'll come back, get the remaining, and it should be a pretty good payday here. I didn't realize we could get 64,000 in one go, so we're going to do it. Starting to snow pretty heavy. We still have the mulching going on. Just had that kind of going in the background while we were skipping time. All right, first load, we're going to unstrap and 211,000. So we got a little bit to get back, but we're all the way up to 235. The line of credit right now is at about 571. So we're not gonna be able to pay that off today, but we're gonna get a good chunk of that done. And we definitely have enough in inventory right now of the dried soybeans to pay it off when the time comes. So we're sitting good. Are going to be able to get an even bigger line of credit in the summer when it comes time to buy. We're going to have to buy a property. So what I'm eyeing, start talking about it now. What we're going to do, that field directly in front of us is probably going to be where all of the oil productions end up going. So next episode potentially will be, or the one after that, not 100% sure how that's going to unfold, but we do need to come over here and help them out a little bit. Let's get them freed up here, stuck in some shrubs, and they should be able to figure out their turnaround now. But yeah, so we'll be buying that field back there for the productions, and we should start that when we harvest the canola. We're going to start paying attention to the amount of canola we get per field, because that number is going to be important to us in a couple years when we try to get to 1 million liters of oil in one calendar year. So we'll definitely start tracking that very strategically. And at that point, we'll start doing calculations for how much more property we need to buy. We'll also be getting a house soon. I do want to prioritize that a little bit better in this playthrough than I have in the past. So we're going to be definitely doing that before year 3 ends, which is what we're starting right now. We got 4,000 to spawn here, just waiting for that. Perfect. Now we can go get the rest of these sold. And yeah, we're going to be doing a full redesign of this farmyard. Not a fan of it. I do like the space, and I think we can make something pretty awesome with it, but I want to have enough time to really think through that and make it up to par of what I want. So was going to do a little bit more of that this episode, but I want to think through things a little bit better before we land on something long term. I'm not sure if the house is going to go there or not yet, or if that's going to be dedicated to just equipment and the drying production and the greenhouses. And last little bit getting sold here puts us up to 285,000. I think what we're going to do, we're going to be safe with the money. Let's go to the line of credit. We're going to pay off 200,000. And that'll bring our balance down to 375. When we look at time saving stock check here, we have 688 around $1,000 worth of soybeans. So we're going to have a decent amount of money in hand to, you know, potentially start thinking, do we need the line of credit, and are we going to keep accelerating? And I think we will for a couple more years, really extend the line of credit like we did this year, where we bought the harvester, we bought the production that's going to pay for itself in 1 year, you can see, because of how many fields we had. But we're not 100% sure what we're going to plant yet in the spring. Going to give myself a little bit of time. And just full disclosure, this is Monday, and I won't be recording again until probably Sunday. So this is Monday before Thanksgiving. I'm not sure exactly when you guys will see this video. Depends on when I get a chance to edit it. And it's probably a little bit shorter, so I apologize. But that'll give me some time to think. If we're going to do peas in these two big fields, would be good financially. But what I've seen with the soybeans drying, I'm kind of tempted to do another crop that we can dry and make a ton of money on that. And that's going pretty good out there. So I think that's where I will leave you guys. We're going to get deep into year 3 of this challenge next episode. 8 years remaining. I think it's tracking really good. I don't know if we're going to need all 10 years at this point. We talked about going past 10 years if we needed to, and starting to kind of feel we might be able to pull it off before. Socks way up. I'll catch you on the next episode. We are so delighted to be back on the oil challenge in Ray County. Oh boy. We're going to give a huge shout out to Shoddy Smile that reached out to me and helped me out. Well, a lot of you have been following me along with my journey in getting into modding, so I'm going to show you what we had to do to fix it. All right, we'll try to zoom in so you can see it pretty good. First, in the mod description XML, I did bump this to 1.0.0.2. I also updated the description version, or the descript version up here, to 97. So you'll need to extract this file, or extract the zip file to make these changes. You can rezip it or you can leave it unzipped if you're playing solo. If you're playing on a server, you will need to rezip it. But I'm using Visual Studio Code, so I can see the i3D file, the map.i3D, as a like XML. So in here, we're just going to search for terrain shader, and this is the value that needs to be in there. It needs to be $data/shaders/terrain shader.xml. Prior to that, this change, it was config/shader XML. So over here in the config directory, there is a terrain shader XML that's not compatible with the game anymore. Thank you, Shoddy Smile. We're back. We're gonna get going with February here. I did finish all of the mulching last, well, before we started recording, so it should be done over there. We do have the New Holland back at home, but we do have the John Deere over here at the shop because we're gonna do a little upgrade to the John Deere to start today. We are going to go all the way up to 234 horsepower on it and spend $33,000 on that. I think it's worth it today. So that feels much better, getting a little horsepower boost here, and we'll have to connect back up to our front loader there and get stuck on a pallet fork. Well, in my disarray of not knowing if we're going to be able to get back on this map, but I did learn a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes. I thought I made that adjustment to test it out yesterday. It's only been a day, guys. I was stressed, and I did do that video on the More Farming Sim SWU channel, a new podcast about it. It just was raw emotions, and we're going to share it. But let's get into today's episode. We do need to get to March. I think we are going to plant soybeans, so we'll have to double check if that's March or April. But I think we're going to skip peas this year because of what we're seeing in the dryer with the soybeans. Just in insane amounts of money we're gonna make. We saw last episode it's gonna be about 600,000. Let's take a look at time saving stock check to remind ourselves. Yeah, 688,000 if it hits the peak price in July or late June. And let's look at the calendar now, just to refresh ourselves. Soybeans are April, so we're gonna get all the way to April. And I think what I kind of want to do, let's look at the state of these fields though. So we do have our canola growing in field 6 and 21, so 19 and 18. We're not going to crop rotate. We're going to go straight back into it with soybeans. But let's look at the fertilization states here. We have no fertilization. So I think what I want to do is use the spreader, get an application of fertilizer down here in February, and then we'll get to April, get that second application of fertilizer. And I was debating spending a little bit of cash on, do we have more fertilizer? we might in these bad boys. I was thinking about spending a little bit of money on some weed control instead of using the weeder. And I think we just get done a lot faster with a spreader, but we're gonna get some fertilizer delivered today. I'm gonna grab 3,000. I have no idea how much we're gonna need. I said spreader, I meant sprayer. So I wanna find a sprayer that we can use, and one that has a pretty good width would be nice, because these fields are getting big, and running a weeder on it, even though it's a big weeder, just seems a little more time consuming. You know, a lot of the times I do like to use the natural way of getting rid of the weeds in here instead of using chemicals, but sometimes we also want to move a little bit faster, so we'll break that trend. We haven't used a spreader and herbicide in a long time on the channel, so I think we're going to get back to that. And eventually I do want to get the See and Spray to handle it. Let's do the big field first. Boy, it's been a little over a week since I've touched this game now, so excited to get back into it. I don't know if anyone's checking out our Anno series over on the Socks Way Up channel. Having fun with that, starting to feel like I'm getting my understanding of the game under control now to really enjoy it, and it's a blast. So we'll do 2 headlands just because that seems to be a good setup here on this field. But we are going to get a beautiful state here of fertilizer since we did mulching before, so just a great combination here of what that looks like on the field. Fertilization numbers are not dropping too quickly, so that is in our favor. I think we have enough, but, you know, like we always say, time will tell. Man, I'm stoked to be back on here. Shy Smile, thank you so much. Let's get this done. And we'll complete the first field with 1,400 liters left. I think that will be enough for the other field. It is much smaller. Looking good, though. There is one spot over there. It must have fertilizer on it already. Yeah, it looks like it does. So, looking good. Making some good progress. I mean, this is going to be another $688,000 from these 2 fields. Can't pass it up. Though, we don't know what peas would be on this field. That is a good point. Maybe we'll do one of each. Kind of just think I talked myself into that. And we're going to update this one to be just 1 headland this time around. And I'm going to go ahead and do the end row up here first, but we'll go ahead and turn it on now. Might as well. A little bit of weeds growing in here. I'm not sure why they didn't grow in the one behind us. A little strange, even though we did mulch it. We mulched them both, so I was a little confused why that wasn't happening, but some things in this game I can never figure out. But hopefully we have enough. We could buy more if we need to. We have $44,000. Money's looking good right now. We do have a little bit of a line of credit still, but once June or July comes, we'll definitely get that taken care of and look at expanding at that point. We did talk about getting another field, and I think we're going to get through planting. We'll see how it goes. And done. So what we're going to do is fill up the cedars. We'll do peas. We'll do peas in the big field. I kind of want to know now. We're not quite to the point where we have to really be careful with what we're doing, but peas are going to bring in a ton of money. I'm kind of wondering how much it's going to be on that field now, so we're going to find out. And this field here, we'll do soybeans again, so we can keep getting some of that coming. And yeah, getting enough money to buy that field back there where we're going to start looking at productions. We've gotten a lot of comments about the mod that allows you to upgrade productions, and before we decide if we're going to build 18 or if we're going to build like 9 and have them upgraded twice, or maybe we'll build, I don't know, you can go in 6 times, can't you? Yeah, so we could do 6 and upgrade it 3 times. So maybe we've looked into that. I just wasn't sure about the cost. If it is something that makes it feel like it's not cheesing and we do spend enough money on the upgrades, then I'm totally down to do that and have less buildings. Having 6 kind of sounds cool because that's still a good amount. Like when I first dreamed up this idea, it was building just a massive production area was kind of the goal there. So that's kind of what we're thinking with that, but we're going to take a little nappy nap here, get some March, plant some peas, continue on our merry way. We have begun planting peas here in March. We got everything filled up. Not the seeds, though. I'm not sure how much it's going to use. So we're at pretty good capacity. So we'll get through as much as we can with this before we buy some more seeds and try not to get mad at auto steering assist there. Oh, so bad, guys. But everything's tracking good right now. We're just going to start cruising around. We'll do 2 headlands here. And I was tempted to get another seeder and put it on the right side, but I think we'll do that next year. We'll fight through this one ourselves and get to that next time. But let's see if we can go a little bit quicker. I mean, 18 would be nice, but it looks like we're getting up to 12. But I'm gonna set this at 18 just in case there's some flat spots that it lets us go that fast. But looking good so far. Fertilizer's down 5% already, so I think we will have to get a little bit more of that. Let's double check that it is applying. Such a bug. It is such a bug that I am going to unload. I disagree with the fact that last month we did fertilizer and we can't add fertilizer now. It's actually something that makes me a little furious, to be completely honest. I don't understand why we can't have things that we had in the past. Yeah, so I'm just gonna set this stuff because I am beyond annoyed right now, guys. We're gonna fill that fertilizer, we're going to empty, and then we're going to switch to the other one and do the same. We will fill unit 1 and empty unit 2. Okay, and I am just going to solve that a different way later on. Okay, so hopefully we don't run out of fuel. I am noticing that we're getting a little low on diesel. I think we'll get through this field today without having to worry about that. And in the morning in April, we can go ahead and top off on some fuel there to make sure we can get through the summer. But we're not far off from harvesting the canola for the first time. I'm not sure why this one's so sharp. It should just be a similar turn as the other ones. But now I'm just kind of nitpicking things. Time to get focused and get done. All right, we've done this multiple times and I messed up. I wanted to pull this down to about 5 meters. And I don't want it to change directions on me though. So we'll just sneak on over to this pass, pick up how we were doing. And I think that will help us avoid overlaps or missing areas, but like we have in the back there. And we'll have a little bit of an overlap. Once we turn around, we'll see how bad it is, but I think that'll be better than missing like we were and driving me nuts. I think this thing needs to get pushed over just a hair farther, and I think that would probably solve the issue, but also decreasing it by 0.3 of a meter will also solve it. So I guess we'll have to turn around again before we see the difference, but just a little overlap there, you can see. No issues at all, though. Let's keep on keeping on. Yeah, just a hair of an overlap, not bad at all. I think this is perfect. I would think so. All right, looks like we got low somehow on one of them with seeds, so we are going to purchase some and have them delivered out here. I think I'd need 2, and we'll put them close because who wants to deal with that? All right, we're back at it. We got what appears to be some seed. Appears, it is. I don't know why I said it that way. We put the rest of the seed on the front loader there. And we're just gonna cruise around. We should be able to get this done. We got plenty. Oh, the seed is on the front loader. I was just gonna say, I don't know why seed's showing up there, but we do have it all good. Let's double check too, because we never did this. Yeah, it looks, oh, no. Yep, peas everywhere. Perfect. Peas everywhere. We're almost there, guys. We'll get a little bit more action into this playthrough next month. We'll have to do that. The other application of fertilizer. We'll look for a sprayer for herbicide and plant the soybeans and do all the things. Why was the tractor so dirty in the shop screen? It's not that dirty. Made me feel bad. Taking a look at it, it was like the tires were full of mud in there. They're not full of mud. They're fine. I use my sprayer, I swear. Pressure washer. We need to. I use it. Come on, guys. I use it. I do want to kind of close the loop on my little hissy fit I threw about the fertilizer states. My understanding is the field state has to change in order for the second application of fertilizer to be taken. And I just disagree with that. And I believe there was a mod in FS22. I'm going to look for it in FS25 where you can apply both applications of fertilizer at once, like precision farming does it. I don't want to add precision farming back into this playthrough. I just want to have a playthrough without it, and then we're going to go back to it for the next one. But I disagree with that decision. I am a Giants partner, but I'm not going to hold back on these thoughts. I think it was the wrong move. I would love it to go back. The way my brain translates that, it was February. We put some fertilizer on the ground. That seeped into the soil. The soil's eating it up. The soil loves it. The nutrition of the soil changed during that month. And we're over here dropping seeds in the ground, putting seeds in the ground and more fertilizer down. And it should allow us to do that. I 120% disagree with that decision, like I've said 10 times already in this video. And I'm sorry I threw a hissy fit about it, but instead of complaining about it moving forward, we'll find a mod that replaces it for us so we don't have to worry about it. That is the beauty of the modding community for Farming Simulator. It keeps it alive, it keeps the game fresh, keeps the game exciting. I love you guys, all the modders out there. Thank you so much. We're gonna push the limits here. We are getting low on fuel. We're gonna push it though. I'm gonna try to finish this harvest, then we'll head on over to the co-op and get topped up. But I like the risk factor here. I think we're gonna be able to pull it off. Finally done. We did not run out of fuel. Let's go ahead and get that one lifted. We'll switch and lift that. We'll get this close to the field that we're going to put the soybeans, and then we're going to head on over to the co-op and get everything prepped for tomorrow. I'll take a look at the used market, but I don't think there's anything for sprayers. But we'll take a gander. I just want to be a brat for one more second. If I would have done fertilizer and mulched in the same month, then I would have been able to do what I wanted to do. That to me is wrong. I get that the mulching would, you know, put the fertilizer deeper into the ground. So it kind of makes sense, but I feel like the month passing is enough time. $376 in diesel. Let's head home. All right, we're gonna try to get this set up. And I think what I wanna do is we're gonna go 10 meters. And I'm looking at that front. I'm ignoring the back because if we switch to here, it's gonna, oh, maybe it won't. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But then we're gonna send the offset, I wish I could just type in here, over 5. Oh, maybe it doesn't need to go that far. Maybe it needs to go about right there, 2.5, halfway. And then we're going to try to generate a course. Now I wanna see how this is gonna work. So we're gonna do 4 headlands, 3 headlands. And that should be fine. We'll generate it. And I want to see if they're going to lower both or not. Needs filled. Yeah, I don't care that you think it needs filled. That's unfortunate. We're going to, for free, put in fertilizer there. And I think this might not work. But we'll go ahead and lower that back one. And we're going to switch back to the front one and then hit first waypoint. And did it raise it? Is it planting? I can't tell in this storm. It looks like it is. And hopefully we don't hit any trees. Yeah, that offset might be a little aggressive there, but we're gonna see once we get around a headland how that's looking. And I think we'll be good avoiding trees. Okay. Let's take a look at the used market just in case something did pop up. Nothing. So these ones are gonna need a ton of horsepower, right? I mean, not even going to try that one. This would be sweet to use. And I don't have precision farming enabled, so we're not going to get the See and Spray. So I think this one, 33. We'll go ahead. We're going to adjust this all the way to the 33. We are going to lease it this time, though. We're going to need diesel in here, too. Oh, we had seed. Dork. Yeah, we're absolutely taking liberties today, but that's all right. Let's head on over to the co-op and get some fuel, but I also wanted to see if it was possible to get herbicide from where we're getting the fertilizer. I mean, they're flying. Why are they able to go so much faster than we were? Weird. I'm not going to complain, but it seems like we're just overlapped a little extra than we wanted, but we're going to get it done. All right, getting some more diesel. Yeah, 700 bucks. We pulled away a little too soon there, but this one definitely seems to hold a lot more diesel than the other tractor. Now, this looks like it's just going to be solid materials, so yeah, that's kind of what I figured. But let's look around a little bit. That looks like a lime dispenser there. I don't know if herbicide's a thing that we're going to get over here. Maybe this one doesn't open. I think this is seed here, and I think this is a sales location, but maybe. Oh, herbicide right here. Look at that. We found her. We found her. Perfect. Now, we are leasing this, so I'm going to just stop right there. That was $2,600 worth. Probably a little more than we need, but we'll save what we don't need. Let's head over to that first field. We'll do it first, the big field, and then we will wait for them to finish over here, but we'll probably figure out a way to get that application of fertilizer down while we wait. Making good progress over here. They're flying. I love it. All right, here we go. Man, that's crazy town slow. Let's drop down to 12. They'll probably get done with... They'll probably get done planting before we get done with this going this slow, but we'll see. Actually, it'd be good if they did, because then we could have them come over here and do fertilizer with the spreader. Did our peas not grow? Are they there? Turn that off. They're just so small. You can't see them through these weeds. Crazy. Okay, well, I want to double check, though, that we are in a growth state. Yes, okay. Just got a little concerned there. Couldn't see our product in the ground, but they're just baby peas. Oh, looks like they're struggling turning around over there. That is a thing with that setup. So hopefully they get out of that. It seems like they've been stuck for a while. You got it. You got it, Courseplay. You guys got it. No issues at all. All right, we're almost done here. We have a little bit on the other side of the trees to do, but I think I'm a weeder guy. I don't think it's a laziness thing, or I don't think we can allow the laziness to take over, is what I'm saying. And it took, it's taking quite a time, and cost-wise, it's going to be a little bit more to use herbicides. So I don't necessarily think I want to do this anymore. So the other field we're definitely going to do with the weeder, and I'm going to see if the John Deere can pull it. That will be the plan. We will get this tractor on the spreader, and we'll have a worker take care of putting down fertilizer on this field to get that second application next. But I am going to just I'm just going to return it, because we're not going to keep the herbicide. That's the plan. And returned. The field, like the other thing that the field just looks terrible. Yeah, that's just too many weeds for me. I don't like the look of it. I like a clean field. We'll see how it looks when it completely grows out, but I think it's the right decision to move on from herbicide there. We are going to get one more, well, we'll probably get two more things of fertilizer just to be safe here. Getting low on cash, too. Ruh-roh, we might have to go fishing. Where are we looking at for a harvest? We got one more month at least. So yeah, we are going to have to do something to make a little bit of money. All right, we will hand this over to a worker real easy peasy. That'll get the second application of fertilizer going, and just out of sanity, we will double check that it is applying it. Interesting way to start there, bud. All right, there they go. Yeah, and it's taking. All right, so just a couple passes here. We're gonna let them finish that, and then we will get to weeding. All right, we are gonna put this right here, so I remember to spray it down. And let's grab the big weeder. I wanna see if we can do this with the John Deere. All right, it is all the way down. Is it? Yes, it was. All right, we're going 11. Not terrible. We're able to handle it. Keep cruising along there. Could go a lot faster once we have more horsepower. Did want to check over here. Things are going good. Don't know where they're driving to. Workers confuse me. Like, why didn't they I guess the headland will take care of that, and they're probably gonna, I don't know why they're skipping this one. Interesting. There's probably some method to their madness. Let's keep on keeping on. Yeah, and double checking the line of credit here. 4,500 is our payment, so we can get to May, but in May we need to make some money. And I don't think the dried soybeans are going to be on their way up yet. They're starting to climb, but they got a ways to go. 250 horsepower, and we're just underpowered. Okay, it makes sense. I wanted to double check that. And we had the transmission issue with the New Holland. So that's why New Holland is just a worker. I'm not running that New Holland anymore. We'll probably get rid of it eventually, but it is what it is. The thing with this going slow is the width is so nice that we're making good progress, and this is so much more enjoyable than the ups and down speed that we're having with the New Holland. Sorry to gripe on the same thing, but I was like internally debating, should I just use the smaller weeder that we still have? Probably could get it done faster. What's that? That's not bad. 21% off, that's not great. Nothing really tempting me right now. And they're just about done with the fertilizer. I'm gonna get them over here and see if it works now that we've changed the field state. And if not, we'll have to do it in May. Must have missed the notification. They are done over here. 830, but we have a little bit of fertilizer to pick up that's on the road here. I don't think if it didn't work while we're planting, it shouldn't work right now. So we'll see. I swear, but I switched to precision farming, but I swear this was changed at one point to not perform the way, or not behave the way it behaved today. But guys, let me know. I might be being completely ridiculous. Wouldn't be surprised. It's known to happen. All right, let's hit H. We're gonna, what? AI worker, field not ready for work. Yeah, okay, that is our answer. We put fertilizer down in February and it's April. We can't put fertilizer down yet. We are gonna finish the weeding here, and I think that's what we're gonna call it. I do want to get back to just doing a couple months per episode. That was the happy spot for me a long time ago, if not one, depending on what goes on with the month. But we're definitely gonna get to selling the soybeans and harvesting the canola next episode. Episode after that, we'll do the peas. Well, the peas might happen timing-wise. We'll have to figure that out. I think that's probably going to be July when that's ready. We'll let next episode take care of itself. But I'm going to finish this weeding, and I appreciate every single one of you. I'm Socksway Up. I will catch you on the next episode. Welcome back to the oil challenge. We're here putting some fertilizer down on our freshly planted soybeans. They are going to be ready this fall, late in the fall, to harvest. Today we're going to get to a canola field. There's one there looking real close, and one straight in front of us as well. We're going to get to both of those harvests after we get our fertilizer taken care of here. Money is below $2,000 right now. Let's take a look at our line of credit. We do have a payment of $4,500 that's going to come in, and the soybeans that we've dried are not ready to sell yet. So we're definitely going to have to do a little bit of fishing today to make some money for that payment. I don't want to sell the lettuce when they're not at a good price. I figure fishing will probably be the best way to take advantage or take care of that. And looking at the calendar, we have a tornado. Hopefully that doesn't come through here, damage any of our goods, but it'll be fine. And almost done with the headland. I do want to take a look here and make sure things are progressing correctly with the fertilizer. So let's take a look at the map here. Yeah, everything's good. Just got to do the inside. Most of the county at this point's got their fertilizer taken care of. Just a few spots that still need that second application. Looking pretty good here, Ray County. And continuing on with the middle of the field now. Yeah, like I said, once we get that done, we'll do a little bit of fishing, and then we will make, well, we'll get enough money to make the payment, and we'll make it June. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I think they're ready to harvest next month. No, I think it needs another dark stage, so it's gonna be July. So we will get to the soybean selling today. Let's check the calendar to confirm that. Peas, no, not peas. We are looking at canola, which will be ready in July, and our peas as well, but we'll probably harvest those in August. So 2 months worth of money we do need to save up, unless the prices get really good in June, and we'll attack that when we get to it. We are all done. Time to get the fishing rod out and make a little bit of cash. Yeah, and closing the loop from last episode, this still just looks terrible with all the weeds overgrown that are bigger than the crop. So Definitely gonna keep using a weeder. It's sad. It looks sad. It looks like a field that wasn't taken care of very well. And I think before we get to fishing, we should do some summer cleaning here. Or is it technically late spring? Spring cleaning. Looking good there. I don't know if this thing's dirty. We haven't used it in a while, but we'll clean it anyways. The New Holland clean too. Beautiful. And then on over here on the spreader, damage of 5%. So maintenance isn't bad on these things. We do need to think about maintenance on our tractors eventually. Get the John Deere clean too. Get the weeder, because I did end up using that. Long story. And the weeder. Oh, can we reach over there? I don't think we can reach that far. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Get that header cleaned that we're going to use here momentarily. And the harvester. I think we'll stand on this log, get a good cast here. All right, just wait, just hang out, make a little bit of cash. I think that's enough money. Let's take a look at our finances. I feel like fishing got nerfed, guys. Last month we had wages paid. I'm looking for production costs are right here. Property maintenance, so about $700, almost $800. A little bit of the production costs have come out already, but vehicle running costs, that's interesting. I don't know if that's enough money. I'll get a little bit more. I felt like we got enough junk to get a bonus there, and I didn't see a bonus from catching junk. So maybe we'll get one here and that'll push us over the edge, but I think we need to get at least 400 more bucks to be safe to sleep. There's another trophy or another junk, I guess. No trophies, but we got 3 of those. So I don't know if it's specific types of trash. That I haven't tested enough, but it seems like it was nerfed. I want to know your guys' feedback on that. Probably for the better, because it seemed like it was way too easy to make money fishing. What do you guys think? Let me know if you've noticed any difference since the latest patch that came out the week of December. I think it was December 3rd when that came out. Noticing more price ranges. I don't remember a $200 fish, so I've seen a 100, 200, and 400. I like the 400s. Let's get some more of those. One more of those and we're set. There's a 5,000, so $5,000 for 20 items of trash. Not going to complain about that. We are set. That's going to actually help us probably for 2 months. Let's get on over to the, what is it called? I forgot what it's called. Forgot where it is. Sleep, the tent. It's a tent, Chris. It's a tent. It's not that hard of a word. That means we will be missing the tornado, but we'll sleep through it. It's fine. All right, there. Oh, miscellaneous. Oh, yeah. That looks about right. So we're at 5,500, and this month it's going to be 4,200. So we should be good, but we do want to take a look at our prices now. And not peas, we want the dried soybeans. Okay, so it says June, it's at peak price. We have also in time-saving stock check, it's showing about $400 more. So I am gonna skip 2 hours and see what the prices do. It's still going up. So we are gonna play this waiting game. And once it starts coming down, we will sell. We are officially above peak price and we still have daylight. So we're gonna start selling now. We're gonna start loading them up. I probably should have done that already, but I don't remember how many loads this is going to be. I think it's going to be about 4 potentially. So we have 96,000 and I don't remember what this holds. Is it like 30? 30,000 exactly. So 3 trips and a little bit extra. Let's get some money. Peas are starting to show a little more than the weeds. So it's looking a little better over there. Canola looking nice and yellow over there. Almost looks like mustard. I'm gonna assume it's the first pit, but we'll find out here. Money is going up like crazy. Insane. That's just insane, guys. All for some dried soybeans. First load brought in 214,000. We always knew it was gonna be something like that, but we're at 220. Let's go get some more. We'll pay off that line of credit when we're done. And hopefully have enough money to buy that other plot of land and the production. We will at minimum with taking out the line of credit, though. We're going to get that going today for sure. Once we harvest the canola, we're going to go straight into the production with it. So we'll spend the rest of this night of June, the beginning of summer here, making some more money, making some decisions on how we're going to spend that money. I mean, unless there's a good crop over there, which now I'm interested. Let's go see. We might delay the production a little bit. If this is something we can harvest, this is something we're not even close to being Oh, soybeans. It's soybeans, 100% utilized, 87% yield bonus. Okay, we're gonna have another field to harvest. We'll do one harvest in that field before we turn it into a production yard. But we'll talk to Walter in a little bit. Our soybeans look so thick compared to theirs. That's exciting. That's extra money for the dryer. Another 200 and, what is it, 15,000 about to come in right here? A Samsung. What is that? Oh, slurry spreader. Oh boy. Aren't you tempting? Totals up to 435, but I am kind of, we're kind of browsing here, taking a look at some things. Load number 3 getting sold, 650. All right, let's go get our little 6,000 and get that sold, and then we will take a look at that line of credits, see what we can do. All right, last little bit of income here for June, about to get deposited into our accounts. 44,000 more dollars. We almost hit 700. So let's take a look at the line of credit now. Make a payment, pay in full, 365,604. And we'll go ahead and close that. Now we're sitting at 330. I do want to go to the map now, and we want to grab field number 4. We're going to go and purchase that for $71,000. No discount there, but not really a concern. And taking a look here, fertilizer looks good. Probably will lime all of our fields together at the same time after this harvest. And what can we do for a line of credit right now? If we applied 837,000, we're gonna hold off on that because we can do it when we need to. I am gonna get stuff prepped for the harvest, get the New Holland all ready, and I'll see you guys in July. We are ready. We are ready to get some canola harvested. We're on field 21. I do want to collect a little bit of data before we get started. So we're gonna get close to the field. We're gonna hop out, take a look at the field, and we're gonna start capturing this stuff. We're gonna see, and I want to know the numbers for each field. Precision farming really helped with this on our last playthrough, but we right now are sitting at a 92% yield bonus. That's the important thing that we're seeing here. Potential harvest quantity looks like 31,000 liters. All right, here we go, harvesting canola for the first time. Get locked in, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, straw not compatible with this crop type. So we'll just start cruising around here. We should have the New Holland heading over here momentarily. It says 7 seconds, so I'm not sure. He must have something in the way, but we're gonna keep going on this harvest until we get close to being full. Then we'll get them over here to start unloading us, and then I think I'm gonna do the whole harvest myself in the combine on this one and have auto drive handle unloading the combine. I think that is the plan, but 12% so far, looking pretty solid. We're looking at around 31,000 is the number. So gonna probably start a fancy little spreadsheet so we can keep track to see how we're tracking towards the amount of liters of canola we're gonna need when it comes to year 10, or whenever we get close enough to pulling it off for 1,000,000 liters of oil. Let's get her done. %84 full, a little bit more as we finish the first headland. So we'll get started on the second headland. But I do want to get the New Holland a little closer before we do that. Yeah, they were blocked by... Yeah, that's what happens when I'm lazy. And we're going to continue being lazy. We're just going to grab this and get it out of the way. And then we do need to get this configured correctly now. 21 dryer, and I believe we want this way. Yep, we'll hit course play on that. They reach the dryer, and now we should hit play again. And they're gonna head on over to number 21, which is the field we're at. So we'll be able to just continue on our merry way now. And they'll be over here momentarily to help unload us. And once I see them, I'll make that call. We will probably have to stop for a little bit and wait because I didn't get them completely prepped, but that's all right. Yeah, 92%. We will be stopping here momentarily, but pretty solid. Looking forward to this. 9,000 liters to start with here in the first combine full. A little bit more. I think it might be 9,500. I bet that calculates to a bushel perfectly, whatever this is going to top out at. 9,300. All right. So we are going to... Well, they're going through our field, guys. You guys didn't see that. We will go ahead and open this because I do want to remember if I can do this. And I need to get the mod that shuts off the lines, guys. Why haven't I added that back to this mod pack? Complete New Holland harvest here. And there they are. We can see them in the background coming our way. Oh, don't... Yeah, we'll avoid the tree. Whew. Get real close to them back up. Get real close to them back up. There is a newer version of auto drive too that I know just released a couple days ago that we need to upgrade to, but that is looking solid there. Let's get our lines back on. Want to add a little dramatic flair there, or realism, by not having the lines for a second. And we are going to be storing this in the dryer for now. And we'll make a decision next episode whether or not we're going to get that production going or if we're going to just dry the canola. All right, that is all done. They're getting out of our way. And we will continue on. I did remember, though, that I didn't give them a way to head back to the dryer. So they're going to get mad once they get full. But we have a little bit of time before that, and I can fix that. So let's go ahead, finish this second headland, start doing the ups and downs, and see if we get to that 31,000 liter mark that we were looking at on this field. I think we're just going to pick one random pass here to start with. I hope we don't regret it. We are 70% full already. But I have a feeling we can get all the way up the field. It'll be close. We could, you know, cut in and have them and call them to unload us, and they should be allowed to drive on the fruit. I guess that does say that. They should be able to drive on the crops. I think they're allowed to. But another 20%, so yeah, it'll be close when we get to the end of this pass here. Yeah, New Holland is struggling uphill, so this might be a short-lived harvester as well. We're definitely going to want something with bigger capacity, a bigger header long-term, and get to the point where we do have multiples like we did during the chicken challenge. So, looking at still expanding land-wise, I do have a couple ideas of what I'm kind of flirting with in my head. I just need to make a final decision if I want to go that route before I open my mouth about it. But then we're really gonna drive home upgrading the equipment somewhat soon. I think I did that completely wrong. So let's back up a little bit more. We're going to pretend like crop destruction's not on because I do want to play that way. But I did shut it off because of the way mulching was affected by it. I felt was a little strange. And I think that'll be good for them to get over here. There we go. So that puts us about 18,000. It'll be 18,359 liters so far. Pretty solid. See if we can convince them to get out of our way here. Oh, perfect timing. Yeah, I gotta update that. I do not like that they're driving through the crop. I don't enjoy that. We'll get it fixed though, guys. Excited to get this harvest going after I thought I lost this save file once again. Shoddy smile. Many thanks. All right, well, we got the back side of the field done. Just this little area at the front to finish up. We do have the auger out trying to get them to come our way, but they're a little confused back there. We'll get them over here to unload us. I don't think we'll fill up all the way, so we should be good, but we might. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's go ahead and stop here because we do need to figure that out. Oh, I forgot if you switch, it doesn't like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. And oh, no driver's active now? Yeah, we'll get that latest version of auto drive. I'm sure there's a few things that are kind of messed up because of the patch. I'm actually impressed that it's working as good as it is. So this is going to fill it up all the way. We were going to fix the course here. I'll do that on camera because it is just a quick little thing. and get this heading over to the dryer so that it can then unload the remainder, because this only holds 30,000. So we'll get that completely full. And like I said, fix the course and keep on keeping on, because we got another field to harvest. And it is a simple fix here. What we're gonna do is I hit middle mouse so I can pull up my cursor, or pull that up, and then, no, we don't want to go that way with it. Maybe it's not as simple as I thought. Let's go ahead and get close to the tag. Like that, and then I will hit record just to get this out a little bit, and then I'm gonna actually fix it a little bit more. We're gonna come over here, right click, drag this out about right there, and sneak around a little bit more so it's a better transition. Left click, middle mouse to roll that a little bit, left click again. Shut off my recording, and I should be able to hit play, and they're gonna head to the dryer. All right, let's get these icons all hidden again and finish this harvest. So 1,700, 1,800 already in here and a little bit extra. So we are past 31,000 right now. We're at 31,835. Shutting the header off to go a little bit quicker. Lock into place, turn the header back on, and finish the harvest. Oh, we ended up with 32,070, so I'll get that number down in... What button am I looking for here? There we go. Into my spreadsheet when I get that made. We are going to start getting a little bit closer to this other field so that we can, once the worker's back over here, we'll take control of them and unload it, and then get right onto this other field. But I do want to get a fresh number in the combine before we get started there. And let's see how this goes. Here they go, unloading our first canola going in the silo. There's a good look. It's kind of see the texture. It's moving so fast. What's our frames right now? It's up to 60, so not terrible. But I am gonna, like I said, I'll take control now. Head on back to the combine and getting this dumped, and I'm going to send them directly to the dryer, like so. Hit play. They should be able to find a course, and that means we can get a fresh start here. Once they get back, we'll get them set up. Well, once they tell us they've unloaded, we'll get them set up where they need to be for helping us out on the harvest here. But here we go on this next field. Let's do the same thing. We need the data. So we have another 92% yield bonus. This is saying 47,000. So if everything is accurate, we will be getting about, another 48,000 liters plus the 32, about 80,000. That's around 920,000 short of what we're going to need of canola. I mean, I'm just saying, because I think we're going to need about 1 million canola and about 1 million sunflowers, but we got to do that math to get those solid numbers. And as we get closer, we'll figure that out. We actually probably pretty soon, once we get one of the productions installed, we'll do the math on that. Now I'm thinking about it right now. I should be able to just start switching this right now. And weight 6 is what we're going to want. And like so. Okay. All right, let's bust it out. Let's see how we do. I don't think we'll get around the headlands completely, but that's a good thing. This is something with New Hollands. Like, it's struggling just like the tractor was. And now I'm feeling bad talking bad about the tractor, but I do feel like the transmission was definitely the issue with the tractor when it was struggling, and we will get around this headland. This is a shorter field, but a wider field than the other one, so it does make sense that we're going to get fully around the headland without filling up. Man. So we will be learning. We got this field done, and field 21. We'll have to get 19, and I'm forgetting the number on the bigger field, the one that's peas right now. We're gonna try our best to get canola planted. Well, are we gonna be able to? Canola needs to be planted in August. So yeah. So next episode, what we're doing, that we start the pea harvest in August. We'll start planting this. Well, no, we won't be doing the soybean field. We'll be flipping that field. We'll be harvesting the peas and getting that one prepped, while these other ones are going to have to wait. So that's something we're going to have to think about, the timing of that and how we're going to get back to canola. So the fields that are soybeans right now, those might be sitting empty until, gosh, and that gives us a whole nother year to wait. Yeah, I'm going to look at the calendar and see if there's something else we can come up with. I don't think there's anything we can plant besides grass. We're not going to do that again. To do a quick, well, we could do peas potentially. So that's probably what we'll do next year. We'll do peas in both fields that are soybeans. Well, only one field because the other one's going to turn into productions. And then we'll do peas in that field that, over there. And then once we harvest the peas, we'll plant canola again, and that'll give us our information on field 6, and we'll get all of them at that point. And then figure out exactly how many more acres we're going to need. It's going to be a lot. All right, getting unloaded. I did have a controller. Well, my headphones died, so we're on keyboard and mouse the rest of the way because I'm running out of cables, guys. Need to get an order. Get an Amazon order going. And our little simple inspector down here showing us we're just about at 15,000 liters of canola for this field. I am going to go ahead and close the pipe now. Finish in the headland there. All right, get both of them done. We're going to go probably 3 rows over. 3 or 4. 1, 2. Yeah, we'll go 1 more. And start doing ups and downs. We'll open up the field here. But I had them following me so that we could absolutely be empty when we go up the field. But I don't think we're going to run into a problem where a single pass is going to fill us up. But if we were at about 70%, it might have. Looking good, looking good. What does time-saving stock check show us right now? Our lettuce is up to 160. And then we will have the pea harvest, which that's going to be a ton of money. And then we have the soybean harvest here and our new field 4 left for the year. It would be nice to get mulching going just so it's done. And this, so little story time here. This is still set to mulching. And when I did the weeds last episode, I actually remulched the soybean field. So I had to replant that and do all the things there. So that was a pretty big mistake. But heading on over, it shouldn't be too much longer to finish that harvest now that we're doing ups and downs, and probably gonna have to help this thing out a couple times because it's probably gonna run into trees turning around. But even though that field's kind of small, I think we will set it up on oh, I thought the harvester was moving. On 2 headlands as well, so that we can avoid those trees if all possible when turning around. So to do that, we get in the field, we're going to hold down H. It is set to 2 headlands already, so we'll go ahead and just now hit tap H and let them get going. And they are starting. Perfect. That means we can get back to our harvest. This is finally a step towards making oil. Loving it. Why would you do that? Why would you just run into me? Oh my goodness. Get over there. What a jerk. Oh, now he's on his side. There we go. And we'll recall that. And I think we recalled it. Yeah, here they come. We do kind of need them to unload us on this pass. It would be nice if they could catch up. There they go. And they're going to do our little dance. Are they going to do it? Nice. All right, time to get head down and get this done. So I believe they're heading in now with their first load. And if that is the case, we're going to have to write down that number. But maybe they're just following us? Are they going to wait till they're completely full? We'll see. No, they are heading back to their spot. It's going to be interesting the route they're taking, if they're going to be able to get back to the dryer. But while I'm talking here, let's write down 29,958. Yeah, that was pretty full. So they'll head back to the dryer, drop that off, but that's why I captured that number so we can add up what's left in the grain cart when we get done with the harvest. But I think I'm going to see you guys when we're done. And finishing up the harvest here. I don't know if they're going to catch up. They're just kind of slowly coming up to us. And it's probably the weight of the grain in there that's actually causing that, though they're up to speed on that. Now that it went downhill there, let's go ahead and grab this little bit here that we missed. And then I think if I just stop now, close this and open it, should be good to get them to come. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. And unloading. All right, so our first load was 29,958, and the second load is 19,978 for a grand total of 49,930. $6,000 liters. Once they dump that in there, we'll get the total of both of them combined. I'm gonna go grab the header trailer, get this close to the pea field while I wait for them to do that, and let you know the mulching did get done successfully without us having to help. So 2 headlands was perfect over there. No issues at all. And the last bit of canola going in, and we have a total of 81,000 liters. Not too bad. Next episode, we'll get to the pea harvest and figure out what we're gonna do about that production. We might do one of the soybean harvests next episode, but we also gotta prep some fields, so we'll see how it goes. I'm SoxWay Up. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next episode. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Oil Challenge. We are starting the pea harvest. We're still in July. Last episode, we did do our canola harvest, and we have all those goods in the silos right now, or the dryer, just kind of waiting for our decision if we're going to purchase a production this calendar year, or if we're going to dry the canola and make some extra cash off of that. But we are following the harvester around the headland right now. We do have a rainstorm we're expecting to kick off here in about 4 minutes. So I'm hoping they're able to get a little farther so we can have some room to start unloading them before that hits. And it should just be about 2 hours. So we'll get to 1600 or maybe 1700 when that ends, and hope we're able to finish this tonight, because I do want to get canola into this field in August. So did decide to try to bust this harvest out a little earlier. We'll probably go into August with the harvest because it is a decent sized field. We want to put some lime down and then plant. And that should be a good path to get the data collected for what we need on this field. And since we're doing the lime, that should be 97% yield bonus. We might want to add rolling in eventually, but just gathering all this data so we can make those decisions. As the rainstorm has hit, we'll get this unloaded and speed up time and get past it and keep on keeping on. But welcome back, guys. And sped up to 1740 here. We're able to continue on with the harvest. Just a quick little rainstorm. First load going in. This is going to be decent money. We're not even close to being around the headland. Already, 9,000 liters of peas. It's going to be a huge payday. And I think once we get both these headlands done today, we will get in the John Deere and the spreader and start putting lime down. But we want them to get a decent head start so that we can just do that without stopping is the hope. So we might want to let them get a little bit further, but just want to make sure we are able to treat the field and get it planted in August. We can go all the way to September for the canola, which wouldn't be terrible. And it should be giving us a mulched state right now with the way we're harvesting. Yeah, so we won't have to worry about doing that to mulch the field. And a nice clearing in the field here, so we'll be able to unload. And I think one of the things we do need to start talking about is equipment upgrades and getting to where we can run these harvests a little bit quicker. This one's gonna take 2 hours with one harvester and the header the size it is. So keeping it unloaded and constantly unloading it is going to be really key to getting this done as quick as possible. But we're going to want to get another harvester, if not 2 different harvesters, because this one I'm not sure is going to work long term, as well as this tractor we've talked about swapping out. So all this income we're making for the rest of this year is really going to help us out by expanding the equipment, start to be able to get jobs done quicker. And then in return, we should be able to start growing even faster, or move through the series faster, really, which is always good. But we're going to get to the point where we're not able to do all the tasks in a month at the pace that we're going, when those tasks have to be done that month too. So it's not just about getting through the series. It's also about being able to continue growing and do that successfully. A nice Dutes Far here, huh? And this is still here. Don't think we can pass that. We're going to buy it. We're going to switch it to US, and that doesn't change the price, but we could upgrade this long term to 458 horsepower. We can't pass on that. We have the cash. We're just talking about upgrades. Cannot pass on the new, to us, 8R. I guess we could have gone with this bad boy, but we don't have money for that. Eventually, we'll need this on this series, I feel. But spending all that money means that we're gonna definitely need to sell a load of peas before July ends, but I don't know. We're gonna get into the dark here. We're gonna see about finishing this and then you know, we have multiple tractors, so we'll be able to do the lime, get the lime started in the morning, let it get a little head start, and then start planting. I think that might be a better approach than trying to do it while we're harvesting. Yeah, so we'll just focus on this, get this done, keep an eye on that used market. We do have a line of credit that we could pull out and take advantage of if we find something that seems worth it, but I think we'll be fine to just start making some money here today off of these peas and really see that bank account grow. Gosh, guys, I'm hoping this is like a $600,000 harvest. All right, there's our first load. Let's go take this in, get it sold. And then I think what we're gonna do is set this up on course play or on auto drive so we can get this harvest done while I look at a few other things and probably just save some hard drive space because we got an hour and 50 to go on the harvest. And we'll get the smaller John Deere on this field to start mulching as well. Ooh, yep. It's the last time we're using this New Holland. We're gonna deliver the peas, we're gonna sell it, we're gonna swap out to the other, to the new 8R. And then we'll start doing that mulching ourselves. We'll definitely need to do some work ourselves on this series. Money is going up here on this first load of mini, and I do want to write down this number to keep track. 95741. $95,000 on one load. Yeah, 600,000 should be cake. And we'll drop off the grain car here because we did have the tractor delivered to home when we purchased it. Man, this thing's in great condition. No maintenance required right now. And they're on their way to help unload. So we're going to go get this sold and then we will start the mulching. And hopefully we get a good amount of our money back since we've only put 7.6 hours on here. We will do a quick repair though, just to maximize that income. And repair is going to be just about 1,200 bucks. 91,000. Yeah, we'll take that. All right, we've arrived over here. We're going to get started momentarily, but I wanted to make sure everything was going good with the harvest still. And it's not. It's not. Header trailer's in the way. Glad we checked. Now, are they going to get stuck? There was something we needed to fix here. We just help them out a little bit. I think they'll be fine. Oh, this needs to be set to field 18. Yeah. Now it's going to make the call, calculating their route. Oh, they're not going to be able to do it. Nah, they've done it before. They've done it before. Here they go. They're going to drive through the farm here. And I think they navigate fine. Yep, should be good. All right, we can get started here and get the mulching going. Very nice. Seems to be handling it fine, speed-wise. You can see in our simple inspector, we have an hour and 45 minutes to go in the harvest. So we should be able to get this done and start putting lime on these two canola fields that we harvested last episode while we wait for that harvest to get done. Definitely going to start using our time wisely here instead of just doing one task at a time. Let's get it done. I did forget how dark this map gets, so we'll be finishing up the mulching here, and then we're going to have to help them deliver some peas because we are going to have 26,000 that's ready to be sold. And we'll get that course going because I did not do an auto drive course to the sales location yet. So we'll get that set up for the first time. And then we'll be able to finish that harvest at night. We'll probably shut the recording off at that point and pick up when we have daylight again to continue on with all of our tasks. But that is done. Mulching's all complete. So we can get this out of the way and then start helping out the 8R, get the 6R back home. And heading up to pit 1, we did not get here quick enough. They are going to need us to unload very quickly. But we should be able to just slow down and connect these dots. And shut the recording off for now. Get another dollar amount, and then we'll get them back going, and I will see you guys when it gets a little brighter. But let's get this dollar amount so we can keep documenting how much we're making off of this harvest. Looks like we have 85674. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. We're up to $272,000. Looking amazing. Well, it is August morning. We have 6,000 liters here to sell to get our grand total of what we made off of oil today. And we're going to add another $20,724 to that total. Our grand total, you can see the dollar amount is up to $744,000. We did sell a tractor, so that did help that dollar amount, but we made $657,148 off that pea harvest with the prices not peaked. Pretty good. You can see over across the way there, we did get the lime done. And over here we did as well. So we're going to get real quick. We're going to grab the 6R and we're going to get lime put back in the spreader and start putting lime down on the pea field. And we have a little bit of a purchase we're going to make after that, but I do want to get started with the lime so we can get started planting. We're hoping to get this all done today in August. So we have 3 jobs to do the rest of the day. We need to get lime applied, we need to plant. We're going to put canola in the field, and then we're going to get the weeds taken care of. Hopefully we can get that all done by midnight. That is the plan. See the harvester still over there. We still got to get that put away, but one thing at a time. It's almost 10 o'clock. We got to get rolling. Looks like we do have 964 liters left, but we're going to head over to the co-op. Top this up with lime. It's not too expensive over there. It was about $500. I think it was less than $500 per full load. And cruising on in here to get that lime. And should be done there. Yeah, $433 for that. Not a terrible dollar amount at all. Got to get close enough for that to lower. There we go. Now here we're going to have the worker do this, but we're going to configure it to start on headlands. I know most people do plant headlands last, but it makes a lot of sense for me to do it this way. And I wanted to double check. What did we do there? 2 headlands, perfect. So let's make sure they get started good. We will have to babysit this and take over, get it filled up, bring it back, get it started, but that's fine. We'll definitely be able to do this at a good pace this way. There they go. And I think they'll probably get around the field once before we have to go help them. But let's grab the seeders. We're gonna make I don't know if it's an upgrade, but I definitely want to make this change. So we are going to grab these, make sure they're unloaded, take them in. There's something on the used market. As long as it doesn't get bought before we get there and do this, that I'm excited for. We successfully made it in here. I was a little worried about getting through those doors, so let's go ahead and get these sold. And yeah, we'll do a little repair. First one, we're going to get $3,900. Not a lot of money back here. That is completely fine. $2,900 on that one. And let's reset the sales location so it does spawn here. But the horse, we're going to go ahead and upgrade this. And we're going to get, for $136,000, a 12-meter planter, or seeder. With the treatments that we're making to this field, this should be a 97% yield bonus that we're setting up. So this will be more data that we're collecting to figure out how many more fields we're going to need. We're going to start moving a lot slower through these years as our field count really increases. We're going to have to really start using all the time in the months and manage it that way. So it was nice to be able to really zoom through the first 2.5 years of the challenge. It is year 3. I know it says year 4 up there, but this is our 3rd year, our 3rd full year on this challenge. Let's get as much as we can of this stuff loaded. I forget, is this the seeder that you have to unfold to load? Oh, if it is, I'm going to be very sad. No, it's not. Okay. But now let's head over to the co-op and see if we can top this off over there. And we do have the Fertilize Once mod installed. So we'll need to get into the menu here and make sure we configure that correctly. Activate normal. We don't want that. So if we switch it, it says activate doubled. All right, always confused by the farming simulator menus. They seem backwards, but I understand the method there. So it looks like they may not get around the headland. So we're gonna have to do a lot of babysitting on the lime, but just getting this prepped before we fill that back up. Getting like a large trailer that holds lime and fertilizer so it could follow us around so we don't have to drive all the way to the co-op would probably be a good idea. I need to look into that. Let me know if I forget what they're called, but one of those trailers that can actually unload into an implement. I need one of those mods. Okay, if I remember right, we can get seed. Where was that at? Is that right here? And what's the cost going to be on that? 3,500. Okay. There's a lot of seed. So it holds 3,300 liters of seed. And now that we're doing the double application of fertilizer, whew, we're going to be filling this thing up a lot. 3,800. Okay. and that was $6,800. So we're down to 603, which is okay. Still got lots of money to make this year. And for the sake of time, I'm going to pull over right here because it looks like, no, let's get as close as we can. So have 400 liters of lime to go through, and they have ran out. So we're close over here. We might as well finish the drive, and we'll grab the set 6R, and we'll go refill that. Looks like a little bit more than a headland. Okay. I'm guessing about 5 more loads of that for this field, and we'll go ahead and park right there. All right, and filling up on lime again. We'll get a full dollar amount this time. Yeah, $486. That's not bad. At this point, I am keeping an eye on the used market to see if a seeder shows, or a planter shows up, and I haven't seen one yet, so we'll keep our eyes open for that. Okay, they should be getting back at the liming. They might miss a little bit there. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick ourselves. I don't know if they're going to redo it, but we're going to need them to finish that headland. I don't know why it did that. Yeah, this is where we need them to go. So let's stop that again and see if they will... Let's see what they do. I want to learn. Like if we pop in here, it's still start... Oh, because we have start on ups and downs now. Okay. Let's go ahead and stop them. Start again. Okay, I don't know why that resets, but they should back up now. Get started. And that means we can get our course configured here and start getting some canola in the ground. So at 9 miles an hour, let's make sure our double application's working before we go too far. It is beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. So they should have a decent head start now, and we'll just start cruising around, and we shouldn't catch up to them at this speed. We'll have to keep babysitting, keep refilling them. We'll have a feeling we'll have to do the same with the seeder. I don't think this is going to be enough to get us through this entire planting session. And I think we lost a little bit of width, but I think the setup's better. We'll be able to go a little bit faster when we do use speed override. Not happy with what I'm seeing here. All right, things don't go the way they should. You got to do it yourself. So I'll finish the headlands here, and then I will reset up that course. So let's go here, and that should be fine. Oh boy. There we go. All right, let's get this headland done, and then we can pick up with the seeding. That's all right. We'll figure it out. All right, I think we got a pretty good head start here. Let's go ahead and try to get this handed over to a worker again and see what they do here. The system isn't the best. All right, I think we got it figured out. Come on, you can do it. You're lined up pretty good. Just drive forward and start working. Nice. All right, let's lock back in. We can get going here. We're going to do a little speed override. I think I'm going to set it at about 12 for this. And let's get her done. We'll keep an eye on the lime consumption, like we said earlier. And we should have enough time to pull this off before the end of the day to get the weeding done as well. One time of the headland used 10% of the fertilizer and 3% of the seed. So we'll be interesting to see, and we're making good progress. We might only need one more load of lime if they might actually finish. That's going pretty good. It's lasting now that we're not doing headlands, so that's pretty good. So we can just stay heads down on this, and I'm not good at math and learning how to calculate what we used on a headland, but I think we might have enough fertilizer. I think this was a great purchase. Okay, what are you doing, dude? Oh my goodness, guys. This game confuses me. Came back over here to relime where we've limed. Got them refilled. Did a little bit of a pass over there. I think we're going to have to just finish this ourselves. Because, can't have nice things. Should have done course play. All right, we'll get this done. A little overlap there. That's, I'm going to have a hard time avoiding that myself, but it'll be all right. Yeah, you're going to have no choice but have a little bit of overlap where we've already planted, but so I guess it's best just to get this done. We're running at ×4 just to make sure we get all this done today. I think it's fine. All right, lime is all taken care of, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. I am going to get a little more of a head start before we add the weeder, though, and back at it. So still, 80%, 82% of fertilizer. So I think it's going to be good. And we are going to need to, I think I want to reconfigure this course because I believe it's going to send me in an interesting route. Yeah, I don't, well, maybe we will try that the way it's configured now that we have the whole field aligned. And I think I will just, I think we have time. Actually, I'm going to bump it up to ×5. I think we do have time to get this all figured out and finished today. And starting the ups and downs here, a little bit of uphill this way. Yeah, maybe we don't want to do that because I feel like it is more uphill. So let's go ahead and change the direction to 90. Yeah, I like that much better. There we go. Jumping in here for a little bit of an update. We are, you know, a little more than halfway done. We're done with all the long passes and we have 66% fertilizer. So I think this is the seeder for us. Canola seed rates seem super low. Still at an 89% capacity for that. So we'll get this finished and timing looks pretty good still. Should be able to get all the weeding done before midnight, which is what's important to me, so that we can make sure that we get the right length of weeds taken care of with the tool that we have. And we'll have to remember to reconfigure it because it is set up as a mulcher right now. But this is this not a direct drill? Like, why did that little spot mess up? Because that would have been really bad if I messed that up. It is. I thought it was. I've used this a lot. I don't know why that spot back there still had grass in it. A little weirdness of the game. Maybe we never cultivated that the first time when we extended the field, but let me get this done and I'll rejoin you when we get closer to weeding. We barely used more than half of the fertilizer, which is blowing me away. That is absolutely awesome. So we got this all done. Next, we'll do a little bit of weeding. And that'll be it for August. Now, I was tempted to edit this part out, but we are driving into the store to reconfigure this. I was tempted to edit it out and see if we could get a bunch of comments. You're mulching. I want to set this to adjustable and try to figure it out this time. Let's reconnect it. Let's open the menu and see if we see anything, because I didn't last time. Lower, unfold. Maybe we need to unfold it first. Let's get out. Let's get out of the gate and unfold it. I don't know what R does. Doesn't seem to do anything. Let's see. Let's get the other menu. Maybe. All right, maybe I'm crazy. Worker mode, AI worker, that's not it. Follower side, no. Allow fields. Yeah, I don't see an option. So we will just go ahead and switch it to a weeder. But I think I want to customize this and go ahead and pay 56,000 for that upgrade. I think it's worth it. And then this one we will set to weeder. All right, let's see how this thing handles it now. We got a over 400 horsepower tractor. And it seems to be cruising at 12. If we do speed override, I mean, we're going 16 now. And the recommended is 20. So only 18, that's all. Seems to be going pretty good. I think we'll get this done in no time. Successfully made it around a headland once. I think we are good, and this is where I'm going to leave you today. We'll get the rest of this done off camera, but we will be picking up with the soybean harvest, both of the fields, and that will free up our soon-to-be construction yard for our, I should say, production yard, which I guess would be a construction yard before the buildings are built. We should be able to get to that next episode and put some canola in the oil production for the very first time, starting to learn the ratios of how the productions work, and a few of the things that I've learned about the production mod that was recommended. It sounds like it's exponentially expensive to add upgrades, but there's a few Lua configuration changes that we'll be able to make it even. So I'll still be looking into that possibly very soon. You know, no rush from me since we got some time until we need it. But just keeping you guys updated on that. Had lots of comments about that, and also we've mentioned it before. So potentially still will be doing it that way, but it'll be on that field there. And we'll get to that soon. It feels like we're making a lot of good progress right now, and it won't be too far off until we're starting to calculate how many fields we need. Let me know what you're thinking of the series. I'm Socksway Up. I will catch you on the next episode. Welcome back to the Oil Challenge. It is episode 13. We're going to be finishing off year 3's harvest season with 2 soybean harvests. And we're away on the harvest here, and I think after we get done with this, we'll probably be looking at the productions for the canola oil. Finally getting to that. I know we've been teasing that for quite some time, but this is the field that we're wanting to free up for that, so I was wanting to do the harvest here first. We did buy this field from Walter a few months ago. It was in pretty good condition. Let's go ahead and take a look at the field now. See the data. We are getting 87% yield bonus, so it does need some lime put down on this after we get done with the harvest. So let's get back in, let's get going with it, and we should, make a decent amount of money off of this. We will be drying the soybeans from both of these fields, and we know from the other fields we did a year ago, we got like 600K. We did do that field to the left, so that helped a lot with that money. So we're gonna get a lot less because we're doing this field and our other original field, which we can't see from here, but I believe, yeah, you can kind of see it in the top now in the screen. We'll get to that next. But we'll have 2 fields of soybeans, get them dried. By the time the prices are good, they'll definitely be dry for us and be able to sell them in June. But today we'll get through this harvest, we'll get that production going, and probably get all the way through the winter, so that next episode we can just start off with our spring planting. We are going to want to do some sunflowers here pretty soon to start getting the data collected for that. So we have canola in the field to our left, which is our big field, so getting that number is going to be pretty important. Actually, let's hop over there and make sure we are seeing a 97% on the yield. We are. So getting a roller would probably be one of the next things we'd want to do, but we'll make those decisions based off of how short we are when it comes to building the calculation for needing canola and sunflower to make 1,000,000 liters of oil. Enough yapping, let's get focused, get this harvest done, and keep on progressing. And we did get around the headland. I'm going to go ahead and call them and make sure, well, we might run into those poles. Wanted to make sure everything's going good on auto drive. So they should start moving here in a second. Here they come. We'll get them to unload us and we'll do the ups and downs. This should be a pretty quick harvest, not a very wide field. And, like I mentioned, this is probably the only time we'll harvest this field. So we're not really concerned about the data. We're going to start building out our production yard here. And potentially might start moving even the greenhouses over here, and I might end up selling that smaller plot, but still trying to make my decisions on what I want to do long term with some of this. But we will empty before we start doing the full ups and downs here. I do want to start going right up the middle, do some lands, and be pretty efficient with this harvest. And getting unloaded just to be safe here. 44% full wasn't too much, but just wanted to, like I said, make sure the process is working for us. Seems to be beautiful. All right, let's get her done. Pretty quick harvest here. It seems like we are not yielding well, but soybeans are tricky like that. You're going to get a low yield, but then they pay really well, especially with us drying them. So not too concerned right now. Not going to be as, like I said, not going to be as big of a payday as it was last year on soybeans, but this is just a way to supplement our income. It's not necessarily a main thing we're going to be doing on this farm moving forward, and we're very close to moving to just oil. And then, we're just going to do some other crops every once in a while just to mix up the series and not make it feel stale and or make it not the same every single harvest. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. But going ahead and emptying here because we just can. Might as well. We'll have the grain cart follow us around for a little bit. And moving pretty good on this harvest. We're almost done. We just got a little bit back here to do, and then we'll get to the other field. And we're going to flatten this out completely, start paving it, start making it look somewhat pretty for a production yard. I'm excited about that part, guys. And we are done with the harvest. We have 4,000 liters in the harvester, and it looks like 13,400 in the grain car right now. So, a little over 17,000 from this field. we look at, let's look at prices just to remember what we can multiply that 17 by. Dried soybeans do peak at close to 7,000. So pretty good yield still. 17 times 7, you know, roughly 119,000 here. And then we got the other field to do still, but this one's done. And away we go. Oh, man. Let's take a break here. So, working on flattening this out and looking at the comparison of, I think I do want to build... Uh-oh, we're going to crash an entrance that slowly slopes into here. And we'll push this back a little bit farther to make it look better. I think we'll probably turn this whole little entrance area here, this little square, into like an on-ramp, I guess, like down into the area. So I'm gonna finish flattening everything to this height that is from over here, and everything else should be lower on this side. And I think that might turn out better than the opposite. It's looking terrible right now, but let's keep going, see if we can get this looking better. Yeah, I think that's gonna be better. We'll have to work on the entrance here now, but overall, I dig that. I dig it. I think that'll be pretty good. All right, so lots of repairs, lots of stuff to finish here. So a little bit of fencing going in, and we'll be detailing around it, but I want to just kind of slowly add what we want. You can see we did spend a little bit of cash on the fencing. And I think over here, the solution's going to be to bring up that, or to I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to get back to work. Yeah, that looks much better. Smooth out that entrance over here and just have the slope go this way, which is really the entrance. Just dealing with the terrain, but now we've got like just a large production area. We'll figure out if we want to put the fence in the front. Not 100% sold on that yet, but I think it'll look good. So let's start with this back corner with our first one. And we still are undecided. We're probably going to use the mod that everyone's been talking about, the double production mod, or the upgrade production mod. Let's get snapping on here and have enough room in the back. Kind of want, like, I don't know, I don't want to waste money, but I guess we could kind of use these squares that we see to line this up pretty consistently with snapping. And let's get the other John Deere to just kind of see if we have room to drive around. We'll drop the trailer and head on over there. I was planning on having just this huge, super impressive thing of, like, you know, 18 buildings or whatever the total was going to be. But now, you know, you're getting into actually playing, and the idea was cool, but in reality, that's going to take forever to unload and, like, or to pick things up and load them up and make sure everything has the same amount of goods. So we'll be looking into the distribution, like a distribution hub as well, that will probably go in this area. Got to dive into those productions I haven't really used yet. But I think this is going to be the best route, is coming this way on the little side road. Blocked by object. Oh, they're good. They'll solve that. Definitely a huge work in progress right now. Entrance is super good size. I think we need to smooth out a few more things. I wanted to see that again. Yeah, it's not bad. It does need smoothed out. But we come over here, we should be able to work our way into the back with a semi or anything with a trailer. Pick up the goods right there. I think we have it backwards, but I think this is how I want it. That's not how I want it. We're gonna fix that. Okay. That is definitely the front. Definitely. So let's go ahead and line up as much as we can with where we had it. I think I can kind of see it's right there. Snapping is still on. Could go a little bit farther over. We'll do that. Got our money all sorted out. Yeah, that'll work. That will work, I think. So we'll come back here, drop off goods, just kind of cruise up, drop them off. We'll have enough room in between the other ones. Once that harvest is done, we can get the canola over here. Ah, we're flying. And start getting that going, but a lot more detailing is going to go in here, I promise. It's not going to be just like this the whole time. We'll do similar to what we did with the Whiskey RP build out. We'll get some grass in here, some parking areas. We got plenty of room. And I think all way over there is where I'll probably end up moving the greenhouse setup, and we'll probably like quadruple what we have and just start making a ton of money off of lettuce. But let's hop in here and let's start learning a little bit. So we don't have the upgrade mod yet. We will get that, but canola 20 to 10. So we lose half of the canola. So that means we're going to need well, let's say we want 500,000 canola. That means we're going to need 1 million liters of canola to produce that. Sunflowers are the same. So both of those are a 1 to 2 ratio there, or, 2 go in and 1 comes out. Rice, long rice isn't that great. The water rice is a pretty darn good ratio. Olives, not very good. So I think we will stick with these two. I think that's just going to be best. And it looks like we can hold, right now we can hold 96,000 liters of sunflower and 96,000 liters of canola. What do we have? We don't have any canola, apparently. I think it's in the production, so it doesn't show up. The dryer over here, we have 81,000. So that's going to be close to the max capacity for one already off of those 2 fields. But looking good. Like I said, as we add more, we'll figure out, where everything wants, excuse me, where everything needs to go. And that will allow us to just finish up tidying this. I think I'll do the outskirts in a little bit and clean it up. But I wanted to check on how this harvest is going. We're going to get the 6R here back where it belongs for now. And then we will hop over and see how this see how the harvest is going. Well, they've gotten a good portion of it done already. And in the production, we should have some soybeans in here. We have 28,000. And where do we see our... Oh, we don't have... We do have propane. Why am I being blind? We have 1,500 propane, so we'll probably need to buy more. But let's go ahead and hit soybeans. Let's go ahead and activate it. And we'll check on that later and see how much propane we have left. But that's going to burn through that pretty quick, and it probably will stop, I'm guessing, because we're going to have more to put in there. But let's get this finished, and then we'll be able to free up the grain cart to get our canola over to the new production. And then we're going to get to where we can sell lettuce. Moving on right through it. It is a big production yard. Man. Oh boy, they haven't done anything since we were doing that. That's hilarious. So I do want to start, detailing this a little bit with trees. And it's a good time of year to do that. So we'll start adding a little bit out here and really eating into our money. And we'll go with some thinner stuff, but just to kind of finish these open areas a little bit more. I think that'll be good. Yeah, and I think what we're going to want to do is like have that in the center here, probably the distribution hub that can like, technically push to all the productions. But looking good. Just got to get this harvest done now. Pretty sweet. As nighttime arrives, we are doing the last pass here of the harvest. 2,000 in here, 16,000 more liters of soybeans in the grain cart. And as we expected, we do have all of our stock of dried soybeans so far. It looks like 93,000. Looking at the production, it's still pumping through it. Propane is going to run out, but already seeing, $90,000 in here. Pretty excited. $250,000 of lettuce, and that'll be even more by the time we need to sell it. Be a pretty good year. I think this will be our best year. We did spend a lot of money on that production building and the area so far, but financially, pretty solid year 3. And finishing up here, we're just dropping off 20,000 liters of soybeans. And that means we'll be able to get the canola out next and get it over to the production. Pretty little soybeans going in the silo. The dryer, I should say. All right, it's time to slowly move 80,000 liters of canola over to the production and get it up and running. We are going to have to go get a little bit of propane as well. 30,000 liters. Should only be 3 trips. Yeah, and this will be our first opportunity, and I went the wrong way, to see our entrance here. Even though at night we'll use... Sorry, we've seen it, but we're using it for the first time. So let's go ahead and cruise around here and see how well this works. Yeah, not bad. Overturned a little bit there, but should be good. Go ahead and get that dropped off, and we will hop in here and get it activated. Get the managers knowing that their goods have been delivered. And canola oil is activated. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and head back, get some more. I'll get the rest of this dropped off, and then I don't know what else. I don't know what's after that, but we'll figure it out. It's the propane. We have to do the propane next. How easily we forget. Now, there's another 30,000 dropped off. We'll get the next one, and then we'll be able to, well, it's getting dark, but I think what I'll do is I'm going to drop off the rest of it. We're going to get our propane filled up, and then I'll see you when the sun's shining. All right, we have a decent amount of money, but I don't want to go crazy with the amount of propane we're about to buy. So we're going to head on in and get it purchased. We did, go through the night and not have the production running, which I think will be completely okay. We have plenty of time before those prices peak to get the soybeans dried. So no rush there. We will start taking a look at the prices for lettuce, and once they peak, we'll get them sold. I think we might put some lime down so we can get straight to planting next. Nah, well, we're going to hold off on that. We got plenty of fields to plant. We'll have time to get lime down. We are going to plant soybeans next episode in a few of these fields. I said soybeans. We're going to plant sunflower next episode, so we will be buying a planter. So we've been keeping an eye on that. I haven't seen anything in the used market, but I have not checked yet in the morning. Oh, missed our turn. Oh, that was awkward. Okay, there we go. Should be recovered. All right, here we go. Let's get this loaded up here. And stop. And I hit the wrong button. All right, it's $22,000 worth. That's fine. That's fine. Boy, this is a sea of weeds. All right, this should get the dryer back and running. Take a look here. Yeah, propane's going up. We still have 19,000 liters to go through. Jumping in time-saving stock check. We've already see we have close to $200,000 worth of dried soybeans. Let's hop on over to the oil production. We already do have 2 pallets here. Looking good. Plenty to run through still. 75,000 liters to go. So that's, cut that in half. That's how many pallets we'll get. Pallets worth. And then time-saving stock check is showing us that December is when the prices do peak for that. So we won't get through the entire lot of what our oil is, but we'll definitely be able to sell a decent amount. And right now we're looking at a couple hours away from peak price. So we'll get a third one here and probably hold off till next year to sell the rest of them. So we will unload our trailer so that we can move around some oil. Absolutely looking forward to this being a packed area, or not necessarily packed, but filled enough to where it doesn't look silly. because it looks, you know, real empty right now. In my head, it looks like a, you know, a lot was created for commercial or industrial. All the plumbing's been done underneath ground, all the sewage, and we're just kind of waiting for tenants to come in here, or in our case, it's all ours, so we're just waiting for the ability to buy all the productions we need. But I think we will get the greenhouses moved over today. There's 2. We can get all 3 of these in one go. And once we get our money in from everything else, we'll make a decision on how many greenhouses we want to buy. All right, steady as she goes. And just put that down like, nope. Gotta lower it a little bit more. That should be safe. All right, got him. Okay, so let's see. I don't know how quickly this produces them. 43 liters already. Let's take a look at time-saving stock check again. Prices are going up. I think it might be better to go this way. Canola oil, and we are above peak price right now at the co-op. Says 59, but we have fell for that before in the past. We are going to sell these now. So we're going to get our first money that quick for some oil, from oil. And then we'll sell some lettuce in February or late January. But it's pretty sweet. So 13 episodes in, we're making money off of oil. So this is, gosh, what is that? Like 0.3% of what we actually need in 1 year? This is going to be insane, guys. And the rest of what's over there, we will let just get, you know, processed and sell at the end of next year. But there's a nice $17,000 from 3 of them. We have $216,000 right now and a decent amount of money to be made. I think I need to play zoomed in a little bit more often. I forget how pretty this game actually looks, but like sometimes when you're this far away, you lose the ability to see how nice these tractors actually look. And how dirty they are, too. Oh, come on. And looking at the used market, we have a cedar, but not a planter. Amazon UX. Ah, it's a sprayer. We're working on getting the prices up on the lettuce. And let's do a check here in December. We're not too far off, but we're going to let it keep climbing. I do have a full load here, 64,000, just sitting by the sales location so we can sell it pretty quick once it happens. But I don't think we're going to be stacking this high anymore. I probably said that last time. This is a little top heavy. All right, let's take another peek at the prices. Little ways to go, and we are above peak price, so we are going to go ahead and sell now. I do want to let the game kind of catch up because we skipped a ton of time. Don't want to get too much yep, here we go. Snow showing up, get some lag spikes going. All right, let's go ahead and unstrap. There was 213,000 there. Let's go get the rest of it. Our balance is up to 428. Pretty solid year 3. And we have no debt right now, so this is all our money. Gosh, this is exactly what home looks like right now for me, where I live. Except for the pond would be frozen. All right, 32,000 is what we have for the next load, so exactly half what we just made. Another $100-some thousand coming our way. Not too shabby. And while we're driving, let's take a look at time-saving stock check here. We do have $64,000 worth of oil already produced. Prices are below peak at this point, about $100 per 1,000 liters. And our dried soybeans should be done. We should be able to shut that production off. We do. Let's go ahead and do that so we don't lose any money. Oh, perfect timing. My goodness, Chris. I knew that was going to happen. So we're looking good. We're going to get above $500,000 here. We have another $500,000 already in inventory of commodities. I think we're doing pretty solid. Time to start upgrading equipment or keep upgrading equipment. Harvester will be next. And then a second harvester probably. And we're going to look for a high capacity. No, 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 don't tip. Slow down, dude. Look for a high capacity John Deere on Mod Hub, and you know, a good size width of a header too would be nice. And let's just cruise on in here, get another $107,000, bringing our total up to $535. I think what we're gonna do next is we're gonna relocate our greenhouses, and I am going to clear the snow for that first. But we got one thing to do before that. I'm going to get back to the original farmyard and rejoin you. All right, that can stay there for now. Let's go ahead and go in the production menu. I want to go to lettuce here, and I want to change output to selling on both of these. And we're going to lose a bunch of water, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and go forward to the next hour. We got a little blip of money there. We're up to 540. No lettuce, a little bit of lettuce, but that's all right. We forgot to deactivate it. So let's go ahead and do that now. And these are going to go away. And we're going to lose a little bit of money in this redesign, but that's okay. We got our money's worth out of those. And now that we're at 557, I do want to go in here and apply for a line of credit. We have none right now. I'm going to max this out at 1 million. I think that is fair. And it'll be plenty. So we do have $1 million in a line of credit to play with if we need to. Let's get on over here and build some new greenhouses. Oh, I want to get rid of the snow first. Let's do that. And those of you that do, well, I have debug mode on there in that trailer. I fall for. We're going to go to easy dev controls. We're going to click on the environment and the sunny random info. Boom. We're just going to do that, right? That changes the weather. But then if we want to remove snow, we just hit that button right there. And the map will slowly update and give you a little lag spike. But I do want to come over here and we'll go to productions and then greenhouses. $36,000 each. Snapping is on. Perfect. We want a little bit of room to drive around. I think I'm going to come out to about right here, and then, yeah, I think that would be good. And then I liked that back-to-back look. Like we could only get 2 back-to-back like that, so maybe we will just go like this on this redesign here. Those seem to line up good. And then if we come out to about there. Ooh, and then we could do something like that. Now, there's the entrance right there. So let's leave this whole area right here for driving. But I am getting a little crazy here. I want the money. So we're going to do another one. Do like that. And that looks pretty good. Now let's go in our menu again in the productions. And we have lettuce that we want to storing. We want to activate all of these and enable watering. Perfect. So now we have 6 of them over there. And I kind of wanted to, yeah, see how much room we still have. We have plenty, so we could line up multiple of these productions here. We could still centralize the distribution building, which I'm going to get installed for next episode so that we have it, and probably start adding a little bit more color and decoration to this area pretty soon. So I don't think it's too big. I was thinking that at first, but I think this is going to work out pretty good. So we do have an area cleared here that we could do something with this, and gosh, I think we could, once we get everything moved, because I got plans, but we're not going to talk about them yet. We're going to get all of this stuff relocated and probably try to turn this field back into what it was and get rid of it. That is all the time we have for today's episode. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next one. I'm Socksway up. I'm Socks Way Up. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next episode. Welcome back to the oil challenge. We are starting year 4 of this 10-year challenge. Last episode, we finally got some oil produced. And we also rebuilt our greenhouses in our new production area. We now have 6 greenhouses instead of 2. This should turn into close to $1 million a year just off of lettuce. Now, money's not necessarily important in this challenge. It's being able to generate enough goods, well, that being canola and sunflower, to generate 1 million liters of oil in 1 calendar year. So by the time year 10 starts, we need to have all the oil productions that we need all loaded and firing. We'll see how we do to get there. I'm still thinking we might be able to pull it off. We have a good amount over here already processing for us, which is just going to really add to our revenue. Let's take a look at time-saving stock check right now. We do have $85,000 worth of canola oil. In July or late June, our dried soybeans are going to be ready to be sold at $338,000. Lettuce is already up to $54,000 after just basically a month worth of production there. Super huge, super huge. So I am having commitment issues as we're trying to wrap up 2025 here, and I hope everyone No, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas. This is going to come out before Christmas. So as I was saying, I'm having commitment issues. I did talk about getting rid of this. We're going to hold off on any major changes to our farmyard, which is, it's lacking until the new year. So let's find our big tractor on over here. We need to get the spreader going because I believe we have a couple fields that need lime. Let's double check at the state of everything. Field 18, we do have some canola growing in it, so 19, 6, and 21 are going to need lime applied today. So if we look at the statistics here, or the soil consumption, they don't say they need lime, but we're applying it anyway so we can get the 95% bonus. And, you know, I've got to be honest with you guys, I lost track if this is the cycle to do so. We're going to do it either way. So the other goal of today's episode is going to be getting sunflowers planted for the first time. So between now and when we can plant sunflowers, we're going to want to see if a nice planter shows up on the used market for us. And if that doesn't happen, we'll have to buy one at full price. We have $353,000 and a $1 million line of credit that we could dip into. We're not really wanting to dip into that line of credit yet until I make those decisions that I kind of want to make. And it's really, all the decisions are around where we're going to live long term. Haven't really found a plot of land that I want to build on. I am, just to let you know, still debating buying the farm behind us. And the proximity to everything still works out really well with all the fields that we've purchased. So that's the plan. Oh, okay, we did lime on here. So, you know, I thought we only had one field to do lime on, and I think the field in the background, yeah, that one has lime. So this is the only one that we need to prep, and we can quickly get to planting season. But back to the topic at hand. Haven't really found a plot of land that I want to design my own farmyard on in this build, and those of you that are, you know, following the channel, I'm going to get my itch of building in the old school challenge. If you've watched the first 2 episodes of that, that sign was in the way, guys. You do know that we're going pretty hard at building out where we live right away instead of just buying equipment, and it's a fun playthrough. Check it out. We'll have another episode of that coming out before, I think that'll be on the 26th, so that'll be right after Christmas. But let's go ahead and fill up on lime. I'm not sure how much we're gonna need here, but we'll get a full tank here and make sure we have enough just to get started. And lime doesn't really eat up much cost, so it should be pretty good. But yeah, so I really like that farm on here, and I wanted to build my own on this map, but just really would rather focus on the challenge and the time that it takes for it. and an established farmyard, and look at all the things that they have over there. We could start getting some animals as well, just to kind of mix up the series. It is all about oil, but I would like some things to mix up the playthrough. It is a longer playthrough than we're used to on this channel, so it should end up being pretty good though. I really feel like we're getting into the thickness, or the main part of this series right now. In the middle of the story, it's starting to build to the climax. We're gonna finally get a planter today and get sunflowers planted. And we are keeping track of how many liters we're able to generate per field right now. And I'll, start sharing that as it's relevant, but we will collect that data on the canola on field number 18 when we do harvest that in an upcoming episode. And then we need the data, I believe, for this field for canola still. We have it for the field behind us and the field behind the trees. So we will be starting to collect the data for sunflowers as we get those planted. I think we might go kind of debating if we're going to do all 3 sunflowers or mix it up. Taking a peek at our drying production, we could do corn. So I think we will plant corn in one of them, and we'll end up drying the corn as well. We could dry oats too, which might be kind of interesting. We could dry the sunflowers too. So that one of the things is, as we get deeper into this, we can decide if we're going to if it makes financial sense to dry the things to make more money, or if we're going to turn them into oil. And we might do that with some of the canola to our left to just have a ridiculous payday on that. I think canola turns out a little more yield than soybeans. I just don't know the cost, or not the cost, but the selling price of all the other dried goods. And we can take a look at that here in a second. Let's get turned around, get going. And yeah, 70%, we're still good. But let's take a look at that for a little bit while we're on a good track there. So dried barley, not too great. Canola, I think we probably are better off with the oil. Dried corn, I don't know which one is going to qualify here. Looking at the pictures, I believe it's this one. So 1900, oats 2400. That's not bad. Sorghum, a little decent price there, but soybeans was the big dollar amount, was 6,800. Sunflowers at 3,200. We'll probably double check that when it comes time to put it into the oil production, or we could split it both ways. But I definitely want to keep the dryer going, so we'll get corn in one of these fields for that this time around. And it's always fun to plant corn. I don't do it very often on the channel, so we'll get to some corn on this playthrough, and it kind of fits. We're in Missouri. I have a feeling they do a little bit of corn in Missouri. Ray County, to be specific. If you guys are looking for the map, it is a No Creek Farms map on his itch. You can also get updates on it if you follow him on Patreon. I believe he does have a free tier to get some information on upcoming maps that he is generating. They are all going to be PC only. He does not submit them to ModHub or try to even get them onto ModHub for console. Just the way it is with some of the map makers, and the features they add are just not compatible with console. So around the headland, we're at 42%. We'll get as much as we can done of this and then go refill, but I think we'll probably rejoin you when there's something else to talk about. There is our new planter. We should be able to handle this. We have over 400 horsepower. This thing requires less than 400, so we should be good. Wasn't sure if we're gonna need a weight or not. We're gonna buy some liquid fertilizer. I think we'll drop 3 tanks and see what that does. And just fill this up, and I think we have, gosh, I hope it holds more than that. Now, is that extra tank just for looks then? That's unfortunate. I was hoping this was going to be extra capacity, but that doesn't seem like much. We bought a ton. So we'll have to bring that around with us, but we're going to head on over to the bulk buying station for corn. And yeah, it's pulling okay, a little slow. Get up to speed, but I think we'll be okay. I think we have plenty of horsepower, and this is a huge boy, so these jobs should be pretty quick. Here in March, we're going to be planting 2 of our fields with sunflowers, and in April, we're going to get some corn in the ground. We will have to get some weeding done as well. So today we're going to really focus on getting the sunflower in the ground and the weeds taken care of. And I think after that, the next episode we'll get corn in the ground and the canola harvest. And we do have the double application activated for fertilizer right now. So we'll definitely be utilizing that. So we only have to do one pass on fertilizer. And oh, cut it too sharp there. Cut it too sharp there. Let's fix this without super strength though. There we go. Now we should be able to come right over here and get our seed added. Beautiful. Look at that going in. Filling up both sides. We're going to have 3,500 seed and 1,500 liquid fertilizer. And I do want to start with the closest field here. We're going to do the field in front of us and the field to the left. And the field behind me is going to end up being corn. So let's get this unfolded and see this bad boy in action. Some of you may have seen the RP version of Riverbend Springs, and we use this planter re-downloaded at this point. I think it's a different version of it. It was pretty not the best back then. And let's go ahead and get everything set up here that we need. Gosh, this is going to be so quick. Get that activated. Start cruising here. Definitely don't need that open. Let's make sure everything is applying correctly. Yep, double fertilizer. We've got sunflowers going in. Enjoy. Let's get this done. That's way too fast, though. Now enjoy. I'll see you on the other side. And that will complete the planting session on the first field. Definitely need to fold this up to drive around. Was going to go ahead and head on to the other field. While that's doing that, let's grab the John Deere. We need to check on something, though. Yeah, that turned out good. Let's go to our production, and I want the oil. We can hold 50,000 in here, so we're good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we weren't going to slow down production due to anything weird there. So we're going to grab the smaller weeder, and we're going to get the worker going on that while we move on to the next field. Could use a front weight on this, but I think we'll be okay. Not even going to worry about course play or anything. I'm just going to use the generic worker here. Let them take over. We're going to head on over to the next field, and we might look into a roller to get up to, you know, the maximum yield bonus here. We're not using precision farming. So we did mulch the fields based on the way we harvested them. We didn't drop any straw, so all of them were mulched, and we can, double check that here. Yeah, you can see all of the fields are mulched. All of our fields are mulched at least. And let's go ahead and unfold this again. This one will take a little bit longer. Not gonna be able to do a full time lapse of this planting like we did the last one. But hopefully they'll get done with that weeding, and by the time we get done planting over here, and then we can also swap to searching for the right roller that we want. And while that's taking its sweet time, we have plenty of horsepower for this big boy. And that's what we're going to want to buy, is the biggest one, 27 meters wide. This other one it's good size, 12 meters, but to get those jobs done in, maximum time and maximum speed, we're going to want the biggest possible implements. We are saving money for an upgraded harvester as well. All right, she's lowered down now. And we are on the field, starting to plant not soybeans, I keep calling it that. Sunflower here. Cruise control set at 14 using real-time speed. Real speed over, or whatever it's called, the real speed override mod. Real speed limit, I think it's called. But going good, 80% fertilizer still. I think we will probably have enough. It did not use a ton, and the numbers are staying pretty close, 86 and 79. That's not bad of a ratio. I imagine if we were doing a single application of fertilizer, we would be pretty happy with how long the fertilizer is lasting, but we're doubling down right now, so it's going a little bit quicker. And finishing the headland here with still over 1,000 liters of fertilizer. So like I said, I think we're going to be fine to get this done. I am going to head over to the longer part of the field and start doing the ups and downs over there first. And gosh, 1, 2, 3, 5 passes is all we're going to need. Right equipment for the right job. This is exactly what we're wanting to get to. Is to be able to get these jobs done so much faster so we can keep moving quickly through this series. You know, another 6 years to get through. It's moving. We're moving. Let's get her done. And I can't lie, I am beyond happy with our decision to buy this case planter. It is making our lives so easy here with how quick we can get these jobs done. We're super excited to see how quickly we can plant sunflowers in the field to our left when the time comes. Not bad. All planting for March is complete. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy home, and we will then start looking at rollers and hopefully giving them enough time to get done with the weeding over there. You know, a little smaller width on the weeder, so it's going to take them a little bit longer to get that job done, but we'll figure it all out. Now, we did use most of our budget, so we will have to dip into the line of credit to get this roller. 115,000, so we will, purposely take that amount out. Let's go ahead and draw funds here. 115,000. And 1,200 is going to be the payment, so we'll have to keep that in mind. But we also want to purchase the actual thing that we got the money for. Oh, this will be tough to get out of here. Let's see if we can trick it here. There we go. All right, let's get this over to that first field, see how they're doing with weeding, and wish us luck. Completed the task. All right, we're going to stop right now. We're going to grab this, get them over to the other field instantly. I mean, that timing's pretty perfect. And away they go. So we'll start heading back here with this and, do our first rolling here on the oil challenge. Really get that yield bonus as high as possible. Canola field's looking really good. Let's make sure we do have the 97% yield bonus over here. We do. So if we would have rolled that, I believe we would have been at 100. Next time. Yeah, and they're making good progress already. They're flying. Perfect. All right, we are rolling, literally. And we got the weeder going in the other field like we mentioned. And we're going to do this without speed override. We're just going to cruise at the 15 that it allows us. Oh, we aren't. Let's just do the right speed here, because it is going to... We're going to get backed up. So if we do this too fast, they're not going to be done weeding. But what a gorgeous field this is looking. I love the look of a rolled field. Let's get an even better look of it there. And then we can even do one of these here. Turn around. Take a nice look at it. We're going to run into a bush, aren't we? Ruin my moment. Oh boy. There's that overlap we were talking about on the outskirts of these fields. A couple episodes we were talking about that. But there we go. Should be fine, and if we run into more, we do. But yeah, that was kind of comical. Yeah, not as easy to just do one pass on the middle of the field for the roller, but that's all right. Making good progress here. I just love it. Don't know what it is about it. Just looks so nice. This should take us up most of the middle of the field here. Get the rolling done. I imagine they're making pretty good time. I don't know if they're on the headlands yet, but if we make it a little bigger, they're close to the headlands, so not a ton of time to wait before we're able to freely roll that field. Just a tiny part of this pass here we're gonna have to turn around and get. Just some really maximize it so we get real good data here. The back corner, I did my best back there. There's not much I'm gonna be able to do. I'm not that good of a driver to back this thing up. Same with planting back there. And a tiny little section to finish here. We're gonna roll all the way to the end of the field though, so we don't put any tire tracks on it. I just think it looks so much better that way. And that's another job complete and a field ready to just grow and be left alone with 100% yield bonus. Look at that. That is glorious. And we're just hanging out here waiting for them to finish the last part of the headland here. They did the inner headland and now they're doing the outer headland. Time's flying. We're doing great. I'm loving how quickly we're able to make progress with the right equipment. And if we go this way, we can get started now. We'll just have to get them off the field once they're done. There we go. Just gorgeous. Let's double check this one too while we're letting them get a little head start. Yep, 100. Phase 1 of 8. Let's get it done. And we are starting the ups and downs at this point, and I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas. We're going to finish this off camera, and we will see you again on the 26th for some old school survival, and then finish up the year with a couple more videos. But come January, we're going to be back to a full schedule. No more of these 1 or 2 videos a week that we've been doing lately. We're going to get back at it, guys. So I'm going to finish this, like I said. Merry Christmas. I'm Socksway Up. I will catch you on the next episode. Today we're planting some corn in Ray County for the very first time. We're just trying to diversify our crops. After we get this planted, we're gonna sell a bunch of dried soybeans to make a ton of money and make some large, long-term decisions for the farm. Some of the things we've been thinking about is buying a property that has an established farm on it so that we would have a ton of sheds and a great farmyard. The other thing that we've had in mind is buying a bigger combine so that we can make our harvests or complete our harvests much quicker. Our fields are growing, the amount of fields we have are growing, and it's just getting to the point where it's taking a little bit too long to do jobs that should be done pretty quickly. So we'll be making those decisions today. Stay tuned to see what we decide. Let's get this planting done. I am keeping an eye on this fertilizer level. It's not dropping too quick. I think we'll be able to pull this off without getting more. We did buy a ton last episode, so we have a little bit at the dealership waiting for us. We'll have to get rolling done after this. You can see the roller is right there, and we'll probably, I don't know why we have the sprayer out, because we should be getting both applications of fertilizer on one pass here. But we do have the other John Deere in front of us, and some other things we're going to think about today that I didn't mention in the intro was we're going to take a little bit of time to focus on our production yard. We talked about getting a distribution mod, and I'm going to look into that today and see about setting that up. We have a ton of lettuce that's being produced. I would love to get it in a nice storage location, as well as the oil that we're producing. We'll need to double check the times, the time of the year when oil is at its best price. We know lettuce is around February, so we have a long time until we're going to be able to sell that. But the soybeans that we talked about earlier are definitely going to be early summer, and just need to learn that about the oil to make sure we don't miss the opportunity to make a ton of money, so that we have every bit of information that we need to make our next big purchase. And just a couple passes to go here. Just the right tool for the right job, I keep saying. And this planter is huge, Case IH, and it's just a beast because this field was taking us a long time to do, and now it's just about a 10-minute job, if that. I love it. And for the first time in the oil challenge, we have planted our own corn. We'll get it rolled. We will Have to... Oh, the weeder. That's what that is over there. It's not a spreader or sprayer. That's a weeder. Hi, I'm silly. So yeah, we'll get the weeds taken care of as well as the rolling, but we'll get the planter home. We'll do the... How do we want to do that? I do want to free up the John Deere with the forks as soon as possible, so let's go ahead and hop in there. We'll get a worker going to get the weeding done, and they should be working on that now. There they go, and we'll come back. We'll do the rolling. We'll stay out of their way. We should be able to do both of those at the same time. No issues. Lots to figure out on this farmyard area. We are undecided at this point. And those of you new to the series, the farm that we are debating is right there. It's like $800,000. You see, we only have $5,000 right now, but we have a lot of money coming in, and we do have a line of credit that we could utilize if we chose to. And we do see we have some sunflowers growing here. They are on growth stage 2 of 8, and 100% yield bonus expected. That is exciting. And that'll be the first time we will harvest sunflowers in the challenge. That is one of the main products that we need to, well, one of the main ingredients for creating the sunflower oil, which we're hoping to be 500,000 of our million liters, and canola oil being the other 500,000. And rolling is underway. Shouldn't take too long to get this field done. We're going to get the weeds taken care of and the rolling, rejoin you, start working on some of those decisions we've got to make. With all the jobs done today, we have the weeding and rolling done. I wanted to kind of take a look at our productions. Here's our 6 greenhouses. They're just producing lettuce for us. Most profitable greenhouse product in the game if we're not doing any like secondary products with it, like making soup or anything. And then way over here, we have our first oil production. Around this area is where we want to put our distribution hub, which I still need to go find that mod. And things are going really good here. We have 28,000 or 26,000 canola still to go through as our input. We have all of the oil you see here and 9,000 more in the factory waiting for us to unload it and move it to the soon-to-be distribution hub. And these are going to be pretty good money. Let's take a look at time-saving stock check to see how we're sitting right now. And taking a look in here, canola oil so far, we've already produced at max value $143,000 worth. We do have some dried soybeans that we'll be selling probably in June, $338,000. And then this lettuce, I'm hoping gets close to $1 million by next February. Everything else is just kind of a commodity that we need around the farm, and we're not going to sell those. And taking a look at the map just to kind of make sure we know what the state of our 4 fields are in. We have sunflowers in 19 and 21. We have canola in 18, and now we have corn in 6. We don't see any weeds at all. Fertilization is all good. No lime needed. We did not roll field 18. We got the roller after we planted it. All of them are mulched. As far as growth stages go, you can see these 2 are pretty much in the same, or these 3 are pretty much in the same states. And in a few months' time, we will have our canola harvest. Well, it is May, and we are a little bit short on funding. It's not quite time to sell the soybeans yet, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of lettuce and sell that so we can get to June and get to where the soybean prices are at their peak. We need to make a little cut across road right there because we're definitely going to be driving that way most of the time over here. But we haven't... Is that a turkey? I got distracted, guys. There's a turkey in our property. But I haven't picked up any lettuce over here yet, so it'll be interesting. But once we get that distribution hub going, I don't know if the logistics distribution center, I believe, is what the official mod is called. Let's zoom in. We'll just tighten these forks a little bit and get lined up here. And we might be able to pull off 2 of these, though we just moved everything. Let's lift this one just a hair so we have it. We'll back up, lift on up, get a better angle. And our tires are hitting. Okay, so coming in this way is gonna be rough. We didn't think about that. We are doing some auto loading on this series, so that'll definitely help us, but we'll grab one here. And I think we'll be able to sneak up and grab that one right behind us. And I guess we could use the forks to just push everything to where we can get to them easier if we really need to. And back on out. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, and selling these two when the prices aren't the best, we lose a little bit of cash, but we got to get by. There was 2,900 there for that one. Another 2,900. Let's take a look at what our payment is right now. In the line of credit mod, we do... Oh, it's just 1,300 right now. We only have $113,000 out, so we could have got by, but we do have other production costs. So just making sure we stay in the green. We don't want to go negative. And we definitely don't want to just take out the line of credit to make the payments. We did kind of make a rule for that in this series. But now we're good for May, so we're going to get to the point where we can sell the soybeans, and I believe that will be before the canola harvest. So that is what the agenda is right now. We're just going to kind of let time pass and keep constantly checking the stock prices or the prices of dried soybeans until they're at a good enough price to sell. It's only going to be 2 trips today. We have a full load here of 30,000, and then I believe we have about 16,000, so a half load next time. So we're heading over to see what the full load's going to bring in. We did see on time-saving stock check, it should be around $333,000 if I'm remembering that correctly. So that'll give us enough money to build our distribution center and then see about if that's all going to work for us with the oil and lettuce. I believe it's pit 1 that we're looking for here. Go ahead and start selling. And look at that dollar amount fly up in the top right there. Huge payday. There's $213,000. Let's go get the rest of it, see how high we can get this balance. And I'm hoping that we're able to pay off the line of credit and buy the distribution center without dipping into the line of credit and have a balance of 0 on our debt. Oh, and look at that. We do see the actual sunflowers now. They're growing. Halfway through their growth stage. And in July, the canola will be ready. That's going to be a huge harvest. We're still going to see if we can afford the new farm and the new harvester that we want. I would not mind maxing out the debt to pull that off. And that new farm does come with another field. And after we sell this, we're going to take a look at that to help us with planning. See if we need to rush that to sneak in getting that harvest for extra income this calendar year. And here we go. It is 17,000, not 16, so a little bit more than we expected. And another 123,000. So we are sitting at 341. Let's go ahead and stop right here, call the bank, pay off the line of credit, make a payment. We'll do the full payment. We will keep it open at this point because we are going to limit ourselves to $1 million line of credit as the largest we can take. So we do have $228,000 as well as $1 million available to us in the line of credit. So $1.2 million to play with as spending money right now. And a lot of that going to get eaten up if we buy that farm right away. Now, a lot of open land here, and we do want to basically fill it up eventually, but we are over here. Let's jump in the menu now. For $150,000, there is this logistics distribution center. Let's get a good top view here, line it up with the fence as much as we can, give it a little bit of breathing room on all directions. And I think that'll do it. So let's head on over. Let's take a look at this thing. Not a huge fan of the letters on top, but we'll deal with it. And this says spawn pallet blocked. I don't know what that means. We'll learn. I want to look at some videos. Over here we have a nice little arrow. And let's walk up to this. Oh, the door does open. Okay, so we can come in here and see. Over here we have X on that. We have an X on that. We have our configuration here. So we'll go into the production menu now. All right. So I think what I want to do is go to each of these and change to distributing. And as far as lettuce goes, we should just be storing them for now, and then we'll figure out how to spawn them when we need to. But 5 million, that's awesome. Okay, this is absolutely what we needed if we can get it to work. So we do have the hour just ticked over. So we do have 8,700 lettuce in here. So not all of it distributed, but it looks like it did grab some of it from just one location. Oil we want to change to distributing as well. I'm gonna pick up all the lettuce I can. All the lettuce that's already spawned, we're gonna distribute it. Then we're gonna get it to the 1700 hour and see what happens in the greenhouses. All but 2 I'll be able to bring on the first trip. We have 64,000 loaded up here. Just gotta drive slow so we don't tip over. Hopefully we gave ourselves enough room to pull this off. Looks like we have. Let's try to load these in here. Got most of them. Let's loop around, try to get the... Don't lose it. Oh, come on. All right, all those are loaded. Let's go ahead and grab all the oil next. And I assume it's going to be the same location to load oil here. Or, yeah, load. Getting my words confused there. Loading and unloading. Okay, so that's everything moved. Let's go ahead and take a look at what see how we're sitting here. So yeah, 72,000 liters of lettuce and 15,000 oil. So we need to get to that next hour. Let's see what happens. So we do now have 115,000 liters of lettuce and 35,000 of oil. Let's come in here and see. Yeah, everything did kick over now. Perfect. We almost burnt through all the canola, but having 35,000, that's not bad. And taking a look at our current situation here, we have almost $400,000 worth of lettuce, $200,000 worth of oil for $612,000. That's not including any of the grains we have out there that we're going to harvest soon. And boy, I hope we can figure out how to afford this farm and a new harvester, because we definitely want the upgraded harvester. But look at all of this storage we would have. We could get some animals if we really wanted to, with all the animal pens here to make a little bit more cash. Can't necessarily open that because it's not our property yet. But I did want to come on over here and see what we have growing. We have corn growing, and it is at a 100% fertilized state. It needed weeds taken care of. So if we did purchase this, wow, this comes right up to the shed too. This is a good sized field. This might be one of the missing ingredients that we're gonna need either way field wise. 41.69 acres. There's a little tiny field back there. I'm not sure, that must be just a little grass patch, but all that forest comes with it as well, and the property. The other farm we're looking at was down here, and I believe it's attached to, could zoom in, yes, field number 29, which is 20 acres. And we visit over here, and it's corn as well. So mostly corn. So let's remind ourselves the cost here. Oh, it's only 600 and oh, it's a little cheaper. I think we'll be able to figure out how to pull that off. But next episode, we're definitely going to start getting into the harvest season here and making the decisions on a new harvester and a new farm if we can afford it. Socks way up. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next episode. Well, it's a rainy July here in Ray County, and today we're going to sell the New Holland Combine. We're going to get $25,000 for the header, $7,800 for the trailer, and $150,000 for the harvester. And magically, the rain has stopped. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to afford everything we want, because the Combine we're looking at here, $603,000. Let's go ahead and make sure we get enough money in the line of credit for that. We're also going to need a header as well.
So we are going...
Oh, what voice was that? So we are going to draw out, let's just do 800,000 right now. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get the house. I'm so sad. Not yet at least. I'm instantly going to put the larger pipe on here as well. I think we'll do this one just to be safe. But let's go ahead and buy it. And combinations, we're going to need both headers. Let's see, we have a... Oh, it doesn't show the size here. This is a 15.2 meter. So that's what, the 50 foot? Yeah, I think we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to do that. And I guess that would require the 60-foot trailer. Or is this by 45? Let's do it. All right, a little bit more money than we thought left over. But let's get it home, and it's time to harvest some canola. Well, I think this header trailer was a little too short, but we're gonna try to make it work. Reason we went with this harvester was the huge amount of capacity that we could have. I think it was about 20-some thousand liters of grain we're gonna be able to fit in here. A 50-foot header, my goodness, and the pipe being 28, was it 28 feet, 26 feet? Should be past the header. It should work out completely fine, that combination. We'll have to get the grain cart over here and help us out with that, but let's try to make this turn here. So I do want to not fix the line of credit, but we're going to make a payment here. And I think we're going to do 200,000. So now we have just under 400,000 available to us. We have $84,000 to kind of help us get by. And let's go ahead and check this pipe size. Oh yeah, it clears. It definitely clears. I think we did good here. And we should be able to just make our way onto the field and start harvesting. But we do want to collect a little bit of field data before we get too far forward. So we do know that we have an expected yield bonus of 97% here on field 18. We have canola and a 97% yield bonus. And I know it might not be the entire field that gets that yield bonus, but we're definitely just taking a sample size of it just to give us an idea. Well, we know what we did to treat it, so we know how it's going to turn out next time we do it. It should be pretty similar. But cruising along 6 miles an hour here right now. We probably go a little bit quicker to get this done more efficiently, but my goodness, how more efficient can you be with a 50-foot header and the capacity of over 20,000 liters in the combine? So I don't know if we'll make it around the headland here without needing to unload, but we'll have to get the grain car operator all set up and ready to start unloading for us as we do this harvest today. 68 degrees. We do have some rain in the forecast. Looks like it's coming back at about 5 o'clock, so we should have time to get this done before that. And boy, 24,667 liters. That was impressive. Let's take a nice zoom out of where we are. You can see way in the back there is where the headland started. Almost got all the way around. We're gonna need a bigger trailer. All right, let's get this unloaded. And gosh, it's gonna be a quicker harvest than last time, but still a big field here. And they are heading back. I think they are probably gonna go ahead and unload that. We need to set this to 18 and we should be good. So back at it here. Grain cart operator is on his way to deliver to the dryer. We're gonna store it there for now, and then we'll see what our total amount of canola is afterwards and decide how much we want to send over to the oil production and how much we want to dry. I have a feeling we might be doing a little bit of both this time around. If we have too much that the oil production can't handle, we're going to dry the rest. I think we'll trust the AI assist. It wants us to go this direction for the ups and downs, and we'll see how that works out for us. I kind of think we might have wanted to do 2 headlands. I think I am going to reconfigure that. Yeah, let's go ahead and just get this second headland out of the way. That actually also changes the direction of the field, or of the course, to go the other route. So I think that works out pretty good. Let's just grab that little bit we missed, back up, get lined back up, and have at it. We got around the headland completely again and starting the ups and downs here now. We did unload on the go for a little bit, and they completely unloaded 30,000 liters already in the dryer. Just taking a look at that right now to make sure. 29,999, looks like they dropped a liter. And another 25,000 almost here already, so this is our big boy. We knew this was our big field. I just want to see how close this gets us to that, you know. We want 1 million, but we're going to have to save a couple years. I don't think there's going to be enough fields in enough time to get enough fields for 1 year of harvest to pull this off. And what a process. I love it when the automation works the way it's supposed to. Just cruising along, unloading. They're getting caught up here, already 85% full, so They'll be heading in with another load pretty quickly, and it gives us plenty of time to just keep going while we wait for them with the capacity of this harvester. So I don't even think we'll do lands. I think we will just do regular ups and downs every, you know, just turn around here and do the next pass. And should be a pretty quick harvest. 87,000 so far. Just taking a little inventory here. This load will put us over 100,000. That's only 10% of what we need for just canola, though. What did I get myself into, guys? We're all done with the harvest here. Just need to wait for the grain cart to get back and unload this. Gonna try to get to a decent spot for them not to come too far onto the field here. 12,000 in the harvester. And I think there's about 112,000 over at the dryer. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. And taking a look at the way this new harvester mulches the field during harvesting, we will have to get the mulcher out and take care of all the gaps there to maximize yield. Oh, good job. Doing a little dance now. They're backing up. We're backing up. Are they going to keep going the whole way? This is hilarious. $2,000 to go. Yeah, we pulled it off. All right. So let's hop into that, and we will hit the play button. So they'll go drop it off at the dryer, and we'll get our new harvester back home. This header, I think, is done. Yeah, this header's done for the year. We'll need to get the corn header for the next harvest. The next 3 fields, we have 2 of them are sunflower fields, and 1 of them is corn. Just in time for the rain to get here. We are done. Oh, looks like that is the right header size, trailer size. All right, we did good. All right, they have just dropped it off and pulling away. Let's go see what our total is so we can add it to my spreadsheet. 129,199 liters of canola. Between the 3 fields that we've gotten data on, we only have 210,000 liters, so rough. Yeah, and I think that'll show it there. I'll try to zoom in enough, but fields 21 gives us 32,000 liters. Field 6 right now gives us about 50,000. And field 18 gives us 129,199. Oil production is out. Let's deactivate it. So what we want to see here is the input is going to be 20 liters, 480 times right now. That's 9,600. So times 12. That'd be 115,000 liters can get over here at the oil production to produce oil for an entire 12 months. What I don't know about the distribution mod is it going to send the logistics mod? Would it send the goods back here? Like, is it going to go to the distribution thing back here and then over to the oil thing? Like, it's trying to split it because the inputs of the logistics do they have grains? Yes, they do. So we could send the canola over there. We have 37,000 liters of canola oil in the distribution right now and 138,000 of oil or of lettuce. Time saving stock check is showing that we do have a dollar amount here. Let's do can't sell. Let's hide those. Oh, they all technically can be sold here. But we're looking at about $700,000 worth of goods right now. Now, I don't want to move all of this during the storm, but we are going to do at least 1 load here. And dropping those goods off, that'll allow us to hop in the production and get it activated again. Canola oil is activated, and that'll give us a lot more between now and December. We're going to have possibly a multi-million-dollar selling event. Probably will be in December, so we're tracking the right way. Just not producing enough grains that we're going to need. I guess canola, I don't know if you consider sunflowers they're seeds technically. And yeah, I think this thing's going to be the savior because at some point I think we're going to have to just store a bunch of canola in here. And I think we do that over here. Yep, right there. Oh boy. It's getting interesting. Do want to take a little bit of time to kind of welcome you guys to 2026 and the new format on the channel. We're going back to what we did early on in the channel where we're focusing on 1 month per episode, and not overextending myself at all. I've looked at the analytics, and not to go too deep into it, 2025 was a down year for the channel, and that's not including the launch of FS25. So if you go all the way back to 2023, we had a better 2023 than we did a 2025, and that's okay. A lot of it was my fault, but not going to make this too long-winded. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next episode. We are back in Ray County, and we have a few months until there's anything to do on our own property. So I decided it's time to make a little bit of extra cash and do a few contracts. We have a few things we want to buy. We do want to upgrade one of our productions so that we can fit all the canola that we harvested last episode into it this year. And we also want to have enough money to buy the corn header. We need that. So that is one contract done for Walter. Let's get that turned in and collect the money. And total of $14,000 for that contract. There's a few more fertilizer ones. We're going to grab field number 41 for $22,000. And the stipulation on this playthrough, to remind you, is we cannot have more than one contract at a time, and we have to use our own equipment on it moving forward. You know, and doing these contracts also gives us an opportunity to kind of scout out some of these fields and see if there's something that we want in the future. And this is one that I've been eyeing since we started, right by the dealership here. Pretty good sized field. Looks like there's corn in it right now. And let's shut that off for a second. Let's see what we're looking at here. Katie does own this one. Looks like it's about 30 acres of farmable land. And we have 38 acres total. Value is $338,000. We have a 5% discount with Katie right now. After finishing this contract, that will bump up to a 10% discount. It might be something to look into soon. And we need some diesel as well. So trying to get this contract done before nightfall, and maybe that other fertilizer one that is left. And then we'll see if there's some contracts in August. But we definitely need to get mulching done on the canola field that we harvested last episodes, to get that prepped for some spring planting. And really looking forward to harvesting corn in Ray County for the first time. That will be fun and exciting. But we'll get this contract done, and let's see how we're doing for time to do another one. And wrapping up another contract here. Let's shut that off. Katie's gives us a 10% discount. Let's go ahead and collect the contract. Oh, we installed the yield tracker. Now, I'm probably going to butcher this name. I think it's Squilly Squill. Made a comment about the yield tracker. We do have it installed. It does not have like historical data. It'll just start collecting data moving forward on our fields. Awesome. Thank you so much for that comment. I did not know that was a thing, and it's a perfect mod. $22,000. We still have a little bit of daylight. Let's grab this other one. We'll go ahead and accept the contract. Head on over to field 27. Get another one done for Walter. But then after that, I think we will make it August and see if there's any contracts to grab, or if it's time to start focusing on our fields again. Again, the only thing really to do is start prepping field 18 right now for planting in the spring. We do want to mulch at minimum. I don't think we want to do lime this time around, but then we have fields 6, 19, and 21 that will be ready to harvest come October. This was one of the other farms we're debating buying. And it looks like we're doing one of their back fields. Not a bad property here. It's like this field also needs its weeds taken care of. And fuel's getting low. We're gonna risk it. We're gonna see. I think we can get this done and then go get some diesel. One last contract here in July. And another quick little job. We just have 2,400 left over. Be able to use it in the seeder, but not the planter. Let's go ahead and get our paycheck here. 10,000, which does bring our total up to $131,000. Get some diesel, get some sleep, and I'll see you guys in August. $836 for some diesel. Ouch. Contract's not looking too great here in August. I think we will go straight to September. I do want to check the production and make sure we have enough canola. Yeah, we have plenty of canola sitting in here to get through a few months before we make any decisions on upgrading that production. We do need some money for that. Yeah, no thank you. Beautiful, beautiful October morning. We're going to jump in probably, we're going to jump in the 8R, get the mulcher going, and then we need to go buy a header because it is time to do some sunflower harvest for the first time. And I do want to make sure we have it in the right configuration, and it looks like it is not. Is it mulching? It's just cruising around. All right, so we'll take this up to the store, get it reconfigured, and then we'll bring it back and get that started. Ah, weeder. Okay, so let's go to mulcher. We're just probably going to leave this set to mulcher and use the other weeder as a weeder moving forward. And yeah, we shouldn't have to adjust this at all. And we don't typically have to do any tillage because we have direct drills, no till required. Pretty much a no-till farm. That's more like it. All right, and that speed's a little excessive. Actually, let's just shut off speed override and let them just do their thing. Yeah, 12 miles an hour is perfect. All right. Well, that's underway. Now it's time to do a little more shopping. Yeah, the one we want's 144,000. All right, let's take out a little bit of cash from our line of credit. We will withdraw 50,000 and purchase it. Now, how are you supposed to get this thing? I guess we push it out, and then we can back up and get around the light. Yeah, that'll work. All right, I think we'll start with sunflowers because that is, you know, the big thing of this series, or one of the big things. And boy, this is going to be fun. Big header, big capacity in the harvester. Just gonna cruise through these harvests. Yeah, that's quite the header. These sunflowers absolutely look ready to harvest. Potential harvest, 49,000 liters. Let's get this lowered, activated. Now, if I remember correctly, these do fill up pretty slow. And knowing the potential yield, I don't even think I'm gonna set up auto drive. I'm just gonna do the cart myself because we're only gonna have to unload this twice, maybe a third time. We'll get it done and get a bunch of these sunflowers over to the production and start double dipping in the oil we're producing for the first time on the oil challenge. Oh man, I set you up on 2 headlands to avoid these type of things. Just manhandle you, throw you around, have you figure out how to fix it. Yeah, you're probably gonna get stuck again, aren't you? Yeah, big implements cause big problems. Yeah, if that little bit doesn't get mulched, no big deal. But just about through the headland here. 8,100 in the harvester already. This is why I wanted this capacity. Just cruise around, enjoying the harvest. Not have to worry about having to unload a bunch of times. Just get some tunes running, listen to a podcast, and enjoy some Farming Simulator. And 85, 86% full. I think it'd be safe to unload right now. Let's go ahead and open the pipe, and we will have to use the 6R. And we got the Brantner power tube all configured and set up here. Just have to head on over, get it unloaded. And I don't know if we really need to get the production running right away, but I think we will before we get back to harvesting. Might as well take this first load over there. Yeah, 21,000 will be a good start. All right, the sunflowers are starting to tip here. Let's head on into the production and get it activated. So we want sunflower activated, and we want to change it to distributing. So they will head on over to our distribution center. Perfect. All right, let's get this closer to the field so we can finish the harvest and get even more sunflowers over here, sunflower seeds, and we're back at it. And we'll get the field behind us over there done next, and then the cornfield directly in front of us after that. And another good time to stop here. We do need to check on the mulcher and see how that's doing. We'll go ahead and stop now. Making good progress. Probably be done a little bit before we finish the third harvest is my guess. Just wanted to take a time to look at time-saving stock check too while we're waiting for that to unload. See, we got $1 million in products right now. We have almost 700,000 in lettuce, 300,000 in canola oil, already $600 in sunflower oil. This is looking good, guys. Looking good. And the final passes. Let's get her done. And we picked up all the parts we missed, and we're getting it unloaded to the trailer here. Let's take a look at that data and see what it tells us now. Yield tracker, we're on field 19, and sunflowers, we did get 50,558. That's pretty slick. That's pretty slick. I love this. Is a great mod. Well done. Now over here on field 21, go ahead and start getting this all prepped here. Let's take a look. We have 100% yield bonus. We're expecting 29,000 liters. So if it's the same as the last one, it'll be a little bit more than that. And this time we're going to do the opposite. I am going to run cart myself. We're just going to get into the field, get course play all configured, and get this harvest done pretty quick. That'll give us time to go drop these goods off and take a little bit of a deeper look at the production and see what kind of capacity we're going to have. Blocked by object. Come on, guy. Avoid them. Avoid them. Yeah, we'll get a good idea of how quickly we do need to upgrade. I did install finally the production upgrade mod, so we'll be able to upgrade it. It doesn't really show you the value. It just says I can't afford it when I click on it. I was hoping it would tell me how much it costs per upgrade, but we'll learn that as we go. We might try to hold off until we can sell some things so we don't have to take any more money out of the line of credit and pay the interest on it. But capacity might be an issue. I don't remember what this holds, and I'm hoping that scales as well with the upgrade, but we will learn. All right, just looking over here, it does show 96,000, so we should have plenty of capacity with the rest of the sunflowers on the other field as well. But let's jump into the menu, take a look. So each cycle is going to have 20 sunflowers as its input, and there's 480 cycles a month. That's 9,600. If we multiply that by 12, we need 115,000 liters to keep this going year round without upgrading. I do believe we have enough canola to need the upgrade, but we probably are okay waiting until we sell all the lettuce before we purchase that. Now, what I don't know about that production, and I could learn, is if they're rotating or if they run in parallel. Now, long term, I think we will have dedicated productions for canola oil and a dedicated production for sunflower oil, and that'll help with that, and we won't have to worry about it. But lots of calculations still to do to make sure we have all the productions we need, all the upgrades to the productions we need. And at some point, we're going to start saving grain, sunflower, and canola year over year, because getting 1 million liters, that's going to be tough. But doing a good job cruising around the field. Looks like they got the headland done already, or pretty close to it. So that'll give us some room to start following them around and emptying the harvester. Looks like a little bit more than capacity is what this field's going to generate. So we do need to help unload them a little bit here. You going for a swim? I don't think that's where you're supposed to take the tractor. What are you doing, ma'am? Yeah, I got no clue what they're doing. We might have to finish that ourselves later on. That's hilarious. All right, back to the harvest. They did it again. All right, we're going to take this over, get it finished. And that's going to be the best way while that harvest is going. And I imagine we could just do this by cruise. What? I didn't hit that button, guys. I did not lift. And that's all wrapped up, but I see no reason not to head on over to that area where they got stuck earlier and get that finished next. And the harvest is going good. We can see they have 10,000 liters of sunflowers in them right now, so they're close to being done. Now taking... Oh, it did not do a mulch state down there. All right, we will get a worker going on that. Might as well while we have the equipment out. And we can do the same thing. If they get stuck and have problems, we can finish for them. But yeah, just about wrapping up the harvest here. There's a little spot that we do want to pick up later on. Once they're done, and then we can get to that corn harvest for the first time in Ray County. Ray County is all about corn, from what I understand. And soybeans, and save a little bit of time by snagging a little bit of their sunflower. Oh, we're probably not going to be able to before they turn around. It was a good thought, though. Not bad. And just a little section here to get picked up. Oh, you gotta... Oh, I did have it on. Okay, so you gotta turn it on first, but we're good. We'll get it all unloaded, get this dropped off, and get that corn harvest underway. Let's see what the yield chart shows. Field 21, 27,000. So not bad for the first year. You know, outside of what it's produced already, where we can get a good look at what we have in here, 79,000. We'll take it. Two of our smallish fields. Oh boy. Oh, here we go. Course play. What are you doing? Oh boy. Never a dull moment, guys. I think it's best for us just to move on. So this will be heading over to the dryer today. Get some dried corn going. And no data on the potential. I don't know when it shows that. Interesting. I don't know why this one doesn't show. But let's go ahead and get onto the field. And I think we will do 2 headlands here, and should be a pretty good harvest. First time doing corn. Corn should yield pretty good here. So it'll be a mystery. No idea how much it's going to be. We might end up setting up auto drive on this one. Haven't decided yet, but let's get it done. Last harvest of what is technically year 4. A little bit past the first headland, and we are full. This is exciting. This should be a pretty outstanding yield here. I think we are going to set up auto drive if I can remember how. It's been a little bit. Do that, and then over here we just need to switch this to 6. And then should just have to close this and open it back up, and they should start heading over here on their way. Yeah, definitely needed for this harvest. I think it will make sense to do lands here, so we'll start in the middle and open it up so we can not have to worry about being on the corn side of the auger when we need to unload. They're doing a pretty good job mulching. It's just the trees are so close to the edges of these fields on this map that it just causes a lot of issues. Now we probably want to make sure after this is done unloading that it's configured to go unload this and dump it. No, you're not done yet. I don't know what makes you think you're done. There we go. All right, let's get this back enabled and get back at it, and they should. Let's go ahead and check that. So if I go into settings here, we're going to change this to 80% because they are at 82%. And I don't know if that'll take on this one, but we'll go ahead and send them on their way now. Speak of the devil. All right, let's keep going. Hopefully they get back in time before we're full. We'll be able to keep moving on this last harvest of year 4. Now they're not quite back yet. They haven't even gotten to the dryer yet. So we're gonna go ahead and find one of these shorter passes so we can keep going. They finished mulching. That's beautiful. So we should be able to lock. Oh, they're probably, nope, they're not blocked. Okay, so we should be able to lock in here, get a couple passes before we fill up. And by the time they get closer to being back, we can call them and then do the bulk of the ups and downs after that. And we did end up filling up before they got here, but not too bad. You can see them in the distance back there on their way. Good yield. Now, can we from here, let's take a look at this production. We do have some propane. Let's go ahead and turn it on. We do have canola, but we don't want that activated because we're going to move that over to the production, but we do want to get the corn start drying. And instantly we should see a little bit in here. Looks like it peaks at almost 2,000 in January. And how does that compare to regular corn prices? Oh yeah, it's about doubled. We'll take it. How much loss is in that though? Oh, 5. So that's what? 10%, not too bad. Getting to the point where we might need 2 grain carts. All right, we should let them go unload again, and we will start opening up into lands at this point. And they should be able to get back in time this time. Now that we're not doing headlands, they do seem to go quicker, less turning and turning around. So I think what we'll do is we'll count 3 lines in, or passes in, and we'll get started there. So we'll skip these 2 and snag this next one. There we go. And they're slowly working their way back to the dryer. Yeah, that didn't work out too bad. Let's go ahead and back up, give them a good spot here, and they should head on over. What a good harvest so far. So we're already seeing a good amount of corn here. 73,000, almost 74,000 liters on our first harvest of corn ever, which in turn should give us, I mean, 140,000, close to maybe 110. Yeah, it's processing that corn pretty quick. Not bad. We'll have to check on the propane a little bit every once in a while, make sure we don't need more. Something ate $5,000. What worker did that? I think repairs are happening all of a sudden, which I know I had off on this playthrough at one point. All off here. Automatic. Where are repairs? Yeah, I don't understand what did that. That might be in auto drive. Automatic repairing. Yeah, we want that off, and fueling. Okay, so we did lose some money for that, but it did give us something in return, so no loss. We'll just have to figure out a way to make our payment before November. All right, we should be able to lock back in. Do it again. It's going to be an awesome yield. It's going to be a great year financially. Tracking well. And 2 passes to go. We are full again, waiting for the grain cart to get back here. Just a little bit left. After that run, we are sitting at 98,657 liters of corn. And just watching this dollar amount increase, 55,000 just today. Seems like we're going to be gaining about 100,000 a day right now in income, and added to it today with sunflower oil and dried corn. So things are tracking. Like I said, man, we're looking good. Just got to make wise decisions and get a few more fields and start spending money on upgrading our productions and getting more of them. Figured we would unload on the go this time around. Nice. Look at a full 30,000. Going back to the dryer. And then we just have 1 pass to do, and we're just going to take it straight to the dryer ourselves. And all done with the harvest. Entire harvest season. Ended up with 101, almost 102,000 liters from that field of corn. Too bad we can't turn it to corn oil. That would be cool. And not a thing. And just following the grain cart back home. They do slow down a lot for these turns, even though it's not very sharp. Kind of interesting. There they go. So we'll have to wait for them to clear for us to be able to open the auger to dump directly in, but no issues at all there. And we'll get out of their way because they're going to turn around in our dirt path here. All right, they should start looping and get out of our way here. Oh, they're going to complain about fuel. That's hilarious. All right, we'll get them out of the way. Perfect timing, I guess. They'll stay at home and get the pipe open and drive on over. And there we go. I think this is definitely our most successful harvest season. And even with the debt we have, but look at that corn just quickly getting processed in here. Propane not going down too fast, so that's good. We might have enough to get through the 88,000. We may not, but we'll figure that out next episode. We're also going to stop the time right now because I'm going to pick up and try to find a way. Well, I have to find a way to make that payment. We can't go negative. So we'll be either looking at a contract or doing some fishing to start next episode and get through the winter, do some field prepping, and possibly make a ton of money. I'm Socks Way Up. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next episode. Today, we're going to get through the winter on the oil challenge and figure out exactly how much money we're going to have to do some expansions. This last year has really taught us that we're nowhere close to having enough fields to get enough yield of canola and sunflowers. So it's going to be a very important winter and some super important decisions to be made. Right now we're driving to the co-op because we overbought some liquid fertilizer, and I did notice that they do purchase it back. So I'm hoping this will get us enough to make our line of credit payment for the month, which we see here is $7,000 $95, and we are 5,000 short of that right now. All right, with those sold, we are now sitting at $9,198. We're gonna get to November, see if there's anything for us to do around the farm. We could prep some fields, but I think we might be already at the point where we need to wait till spring for that. So we'll be looking at the market, seeing how prices are fluctuating and when they're in a good spot for us to start selling. And hopefully we can make enough money in November with that being the case to make that payment as well, but time will tell. We need to double check that we have propane going on the grass drying, because that's going to be some good money for us, and we want to make sure that that keeps progressing. I'm trying to avoid selling things before peak price just to maximize money this year. And this is getting ridiculous. We've got to get out of this tent soon. Canola prices are looking like they are above peak, so we are going to figure out how to sell those today. I should say figure out how to get them out of the production, the logistics distribution center. So let's head on over there, learn a little bit about that. So we're gonna make some cash here in November, and we still should have some canola being produced. So a little surprised. It peaks in, you know, the game says, or the map says that the prices peak in December, but they seem to peak a month early in my experience. I'm wondering if we could go a little bit later in the day and get that price a little bit higher, but we might do that after we get these out of the distribution center here. And then I think this is what we push, but let's go ahead and, well, let's look at this, because I think this is a little silly here that we changed it to 5,000 a second. Unselected. Oh, 5,000 looks like the slowest. I think that's what we wanted, because I did test this before and they just came out way too fast. So let's take a look here. We want to find our canola oil, and it is storing. We want to change this to, oh, I don't know, because we don't want the lettuce to come out. Allow pallet spawning. Okay. Oh, look at that. And now the lettuce is coming. Okay, that's not what we wanted. And how high is this gonna stack? Okay. So now I think we want to hit this button again. Okay. Interesting. I gotta be missing something. I guess if we come in here, manage production point, if we would have set lettuce to distribute, it wouldn't have anywhere to distribute. So I'm gonna try and get all the lettuce put back in here, and just to kind of test this out. So the auto loading was pretty slick, but let's go ahead and see if we can do this now. Let's go over here. Let me in. Okay. So we also have sunflower oil. Let's go find that. And let's change this to distributing. And now we have lettuce and sunflower oil for distributing. Let's see if that does limit it to just canola oil this time. That seemed to do the trick. I guess that would be a problem if there's somewhere else for them to distribute. But I think what we're going to do here is check the prices now. And once this starts dropping, the distribution center is us, so that doesn't really count. But I'm going to skip a little bit of time, see what happens, and maybe get a couple more pallets in here. Maybe at least one, since we have 877. Yeah, pretty good. Right now, you're looking at 52,000 liters, whoops, of canola oil for a decent payday today. And then, while that's running at 120, let's run over here and see how much more canola we have to go through. Yeah, still 29,000. Sunflowers, 74,000. Pretty awesome. Those seem to be going in parallel. The numbers are going up at exactly the same time, so I think that's good. We did get that extra pallet, so I think I want to, yeah, let's go ahead and activate that again. Pretty fancy. I do love that feature. All right, and prices are officially starting to dip. So we'll head on over to the co-op, get these sold, and see how much we're going to make here in November. It's going to be a pretty exciting year. It's our first time selling oil. Oh, maybe, I can't remember. I think this is the first time. Maybe we sold a little bit last year. And I think it's right here, if I'm remember. It's been a little bit. So that was $315,913 for our first full year of oil. Not terrible. And it was 52,000 liters, which is well below a million. I don't think I need this anywhere but here, so I'm going to leave the trailer here. And we're going to take a look at a few things now. And time-saving stock check, we still have canola oil, which I guess we produced another 483 liters, but we'll leave that for now. The dry, that's what I wanted to check on. The dried corn showing $186,000 with 93,000 liters. Did that finish or run out of propane? Ran out of propane with a little bit of corn left. So let's, for now, let's go ahead and deactivate that. And then looking at sunflowers are in March, so maybe February, we'll get to sell those. Lettuce is going to be January, but the dried corn's probably going to be next month. So let's go ahead. We'll leave this here, and we will grab the 8R and the tank. And we're not going to get a lot of propane, just a little bit to get us by. But we'll go get that from the co-op, get this production back up and running so we can finish drying that corn, because we're going to need to sell that very soon. And this is pretty pricey, so I want to be a little careful with how much we buy here. That was, yeah, let's get about 2,000 worth, 2,000 liters worth. So that did eat about $6,000, but we're going to generate way more than that in dried corn. Just trying to be careful with this, and before we do make it December, we will look at that line of credit and see if it makes sense to pay a decent amount of it off, or if we just wait till we have enough to pay it off completely. I believe we're sitting somewhat high on that. But I do, yeah, we're gonna drive by and see if they've harvested the corn yet on that property we were eyeing, because if we can pull that off to get some more corn, even if we don't have time to dry the corn, it would be a lot. I mean, we potentially could pay for itself depending on the shape of the field, but be a moot point if it's already harvested. It is not. It is not. Okay, ready to harvest. Let's crunch some numbers. So with the line of credit right now, we have 300. We're gonna max this out. We're gonna do it. 357,860. That gives us a balance of 667. If we come in here now, we are 20,000 short. Okay. All right. I think we know what we need to do. It is late in November already, and if I remember right, as we add the propane in here, we look at the calendar, we can go into December harvesting corn on this map. So let's take a look at time-saving stock check and see where we can find that 20,000 without losing a ton of money. So what I'm gonna do is try to get just a little bit of lettuce. So we'll change this. Actually, we come over here and do that. Oh, there's the button. I will change lettuce to storing. And then I will enable this for a second. See if I can see both at the same time. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. Okay, so that's unfortunate. But how many did we get here? 18. That's way too much. But you know what? It'll get us by because we are going to need to make that payment as well after maxing out that loan. So let's sell this. The rest of it we will sell when the price is peaked. And I think this is a smart investment because we're gonna spend some money and hopefully relatively quickly get that line of credit paid off and have more land and have a house to move into. All right, and selling those 18,000 brought in 53,000, so we definitely have enough to clear. All right, let's make a phone call, get a new property, and get to harvesting. Oh, look at all these new things that showed up. Drying bins, nice. So we do have the ability to dry corn. It is a different dried corn than this one. Does take propane as well. So we will finish this. Let's activate that. And then we'll figure out what we're going to do long term. But I have a feeling, we talked about it, we're going to get some money from selling this property, but we got some repairs to do to it. And we'll definitely be moving in today, getting all our equipment moved over there, but first thing's gonna be this harvest. Just kind of letting our grain cart operator get there in front of us. It's nice to say this is ours. We'll take a deeper, closer look at it here when we get done with the harvest. But I believe this is the route. Yeah, this is the route we want to take. Header lowered, get this all activated. And get into the field, start working on this first headland here. It said 67% yield bonus, so it won't be the best yield that we could get out of this field, but it is another field to our name that we're going to be able to make a lot more canola or sunflowers with. Nice shed there. Yeah, we're going to have to learn all these buildings because we might take advantage of them and get some of the animals that belong over here to make this look good. You know, we want to actually run a farm, not just focus on oil, because that's more fun in my opinion. We're in the back of the field here. There's quite the incline here, so I was kind of interested to see how the harvester is going to handle this. You know, looking at it in cab view. The green line messes it up. I need to fix that, guys. I need to get that mod going. But yeah, 4 miles an hour. That's not terrible to get through that. Down to 3. Just worried about it here at the top, but it seems to be holding on. Powering through it. Nice. That works. I love the extra scenery we're going to get around here with this farm. No Creek Farms, you did great with this farm. The detail is amazing on those barns and those sheds. All right, let's keep busy. We're 50% full. I don't think we'll make it around the headland completely, but the grain cart operator should be able to help us out. This seems like a nice open area to be able to call the grain cart operator. We're 92% full. And we're gonna have to open the big map to make sure they're driving over here. I reused a different course, so we might need to do a little bit out here to get it to work, but I have somewhat of a feeling they'll be able to at least get here. It's exiting the field that they might have problems, so we can see them in the background. They are heading this way. Beautiful. All right, not bad. Get unloaded for the first time here, 22,000 liters. Pretty good start. And gosh, while we're doing that, let's take a look at what that payment just jumped up to. Hopefully it's really short-lived, but it is 12,000. It looks like we do have $1 we could draw. No, it's just probably a UI issue there. Limit, yeah, looking good. Net worth is still at 2.5 million. Not bad at all. Starting to get dark. We'll get as much as we can done today, and we might finish this harvest in December. We'll see how it goes. This map does get super dark, so harvesting isn't super enjoyable, and it's definitely not going to work on YouTube. I'll keep you guys updated, and I'll see you in a few. I didn't even realize we have $93,000, so that discount, the value shows not the current value you pay for, but the actual full value, and then we did get a 10% discount. That's why we have $93,000. So we didn't need to sell the lettuce. Oh well. Oh well, just wanted to clarify why we still have money. Well, we're back at it in December here. The sun is rising. We're going to fill the grain cart up and let them head back to the dryer. Let's check the propane on that overnight. It did go through all the corn. We're about to send some over there. We have a little bit left. While we're making sure we're safe here. Canola, we could sell a little bit more today, and we probably will. Dried corn it's on its way up, so we'll keep an eye on that. But we got a lot to get through still to finish getting through the month or the whole winter today. Let's let our grain cart operator do their thing there. Hopefully they don't run into any problems, but we're gonna do this whole back area here, get this harvested, and then get back to the rest of the field. But figured we just get the awkward part here out of the way, and hopefully they relieved us enough to finish this area so we don't have to wait too long before they get back. But yeah, 72% full still. Like I mentioned last episode, it might be time to start getting a little bit more equipment to help us with these harvests. So the last thing I want is these to take forever. And we were able to finish this little back area without filling up, so that's nice. Still a little bit of capacity. But let's get the grain cart operator out here, and hopefully they don't run into anything. I did update the auto drive course, but there was still a little issue that I was having with some invisible objects that they're running into. So doesn't look like they're heading this way. yet. Go ahead and finish getting this full. And we're getting to the ups and downs here. You can see the grain cart operators trying not to get stuck and make his way back to the dryer. Going good. Just got to get these ups and downs done, and then we can check on prices again, get some more things sold, get through this winter, figure out our plans for spring. And a little bit of an update here. Going good. We're getting unloaded on the run here, on the go. We're doing some lands to make it easier to unload. Just everything to the right to go, and this one pass to the left. Looking pretty solid. Got plenty of time left. I have been keeping an eye on the prices of the dried corn, and it does not peak yet, so we're not losing any income. Got that the grain cart is full. They should head back and unload it, and hopefully be back in time to unload us so we can keep rolling. And we have finished the harvest. We're going to go drop off this 15,000 that we have in the combine ourselves, and then check on those prices. It's time to make some money. But before we do that, we're going to take a look at our yield. It was 151,000 liters. This was only a 67% yield bonus, so that we should get a decent amount more on corn. You know, other crops are going to be different, but 100-some thousand liters in here. We are just about out of propane. So I think what we're going to do is get a little bit more propane after we unload this. And then looking at time-saving stock check, we still have a little bit of time. It might actually be January when that price gets to where it needs to be. All right, let's do a little bit more this time. We'll go up to about 4,000 there. That's $12,000 worth of propane. We still have $67,000, so we're good. And I think this is going to be enough to get us through the rest of that corn, but you know, we'll keep an eye on it. All right, that propane's getting deposited, so this thing should be back up and running. One thing I want to look at, let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. We have on here, it shows January peaking at 1900. So it is the dried corn. There's two different types on this map, or because of the mods I added. So this is showing June is the peak. So does this one. So what do we do? What do we do? We're going to see if it gets to that $1,900 amount here in a little bit. And then I also wanted to take a look at the other production and make sure we still have, we have plenty of canola because we still have 69,000 canola in here. And kind of looking at when dried canola peaks. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is turn that on as well and get a decent amount of money in that, because right now a time-saving stock check is going to show dried canola is on its way down. But I think we can get a little bit more money from that quicker than we can. Well, the dried oil's a lot better. Let's deactivate that. Let's stop being silly here. At this point, we need to get this 8R hooked up. And I think now that we have that combine that has a higher pipe, I might head into the dealership and see about getting an upgrade on this trailer while we kind of wait for prices to get a little bit better and some more corn to dry, so we can get a little bit more capacity here. And we'll double check it when we get back with the height of the pipe, but I think it's worth the upgrade. All right, let's go ahead and customize this. And the extension is only $5,000. And just kind of taking a look at what we got from that 46 compared to 30. Yeah, I think that was definitely worth it. So we added a 16,000 liters per load here. And now that I look at this, it might be a little too tall, but we'll check. All right, pulling over here. The height is concerning me a little bit, but let's open the pipe. It phases through it. Now, is that always the case? So we might be okay. And, you know, next time we harvest, if that becomes an issue, we can find out then. But we can start loading this up so we have the first load ready. All right, we're gonna have to deal with it being dark. Prices are pretty good. Oh, I took regular corn. Who was gonna tell me? Hopefully that didn't cause the production to slow down, but oh, I'm glad we noticed. Did notice we ran out of propane again, so that is burning through it pretty good. But the 53,000 liters of corn left, we might leave that amount till June to sell and see if those do peak twice a year, which would be awesome. But 46,000, it's gonna be a lot of trips here. Start getting that dollar amount up, and we will start checking on the lettuce price pretty soon. We haven't seen any snow yet this year. Pretty lucky about that. but selling some corn for the dried corn for the first time here. Watching that dollar amount skyrocket. Love to see it. Hopefully we can get out of debt here pretty soon. Yeah, 89,000 per load. We got, I think, 3 more to get. So this is pretty awesome. Let's go get some more of that corn. The dried variety. Load number 2. The sun is coming up real nice for us today. Brantner's working great too. And we are now up to 226. And then there was 315. Now there's going to be 2,000 left in here. And I think I'm just going to leave that for June when we do sell the rest of it. Because we are going to have, you know, the 53,000 turning into corn as well, or dried corn. So I think we'll do that. We'll hold off till June. It'd be nice to make a decent amount of money in the middle of the year. Yeah, and the last little bit of dry corn, not a little bit, it's a full load, but this should get us up to about 400. Maybe a little higher than that. Yeah, 403. All right, so we're going to move some canola around next. Haven't checked on the prices of lettuce yet. I have a feeling that's going to be closer to nightfall when that's good, but we definitely should be getting out of debt today. Well, we still got to move into our new place. And before we start paying off debt, one thing I do want to look at here is we're definitely going to be planting more canola. Unless I missed that window this year. Yeah, canola is July or August, September. So we'll be doing more sunflowers for sure. We need to figure out how we're going to do that. So I think half the fields are going to wait till fall to get planted, but that's still an issue here because we have a lot. So let's go in here and see what an upgrade looks like. 264,000? Hold on. We might be going to the other plan here. I don't know if we're going to use those upgrades because if they cost that much, that's just crazy. I want to see what the original 240 is the regular price. Okay, so we do upgrade that. It was just a little bit more and it should be burning through these a lot faster now. Now I wish this told us the level we're on. Oh, it does say 2 right here. Okay. Upgrade, not enough money. That makes sense. All right. I'm going to trust you guys. But if the next one costs more than that, we're going to figure it out, though. We got to burn through those a lot quicker. And we have a little bit more canola to bring over here, actually. So let's go get it. And the other 22,000 getting dropped off here. And so we'll see how quickly they go through this. And boop. And I'll spend a little bit of time probably in between videos figuring out how the improvement is. And I might actually load some of this up on another map to know for sure. But we are going to have over 80,000 liters of canola in here, almost 90, and 65 sunflowers still to burn through. Let's go ahead and shut that off for now. We're going to come over here. We're going to check the prices of lettuce. I don't know if we'll get out of debt still, but I think we might. Oh, we're close. We are close on lettuce. All right, taking our first load of lettuce over. And I think we're going to make it about 2 hours later. And we do need to get some diesel while we're over there, but we'll get this first load sold. Got to go super slow so we don't tip this over. And 64,000 liters per trip. We have, you know, over 200, almost, I think it was almost 300,000 to sell. So it's going to be lots of trips here as well. This should get us close to $1 million and comfortable enough to pay off the line of credit. We'll look at that once we get to the dollar amount. Pretty jam-packed winter here. Nope, nope, nope. All right, and let's see what each trip's going to bring in. $212,000. Guess this diesel won't hurt that bad. $367 worth. Cruising in with the last 500 of the day. We are almost at $1 million. I want to see that dollar amount hit $1 million here. Just over. We know what's next. Make a phone call, make a payment, pay in full. And we have $14,000 left over. So we'll try to make a little bit of cash here and there between the next few months for operational costs. But I wanted to get that line of credit paid off so we're not getting hit with any more details. Any more interest, my goodness. Let's head on in. It's time to start moving our equipment to our new property and get to know it a little bit. Now that we own this property, I think I'm missing a mod that builds a fence around this because this is for cows. So I'm going to take a look on itch and see what mod that is for the fences. But boy, we got the silo here, which I'm not 100% sure how it works, but we will test it out when the time comes. And this looks like a bale loft, auto load. But we can use that to park in if we need to. I assume this opens. Open the gate. Yep, do that. So we can pull through there and put some stuff in there if we need to. We'll take a look at the house in a minute. Nice shed here. It's only gonna open halfway, or do we have to open this door separate? Nice. Okay, we can fit some equipment in there. Oh, a little side too, right there for some more equipment. And then this right here. All right. I think we just start moving things around. I think this will be a good spot for this trailer. And yeah, so there's, you know, I think a fence is supposed to be right here, and which would prevent the issues that we're having with auto drive earlier on. Boy, this equipment might be too big for these sheds. I think the roller's gonna have to live right here. I think I need the bigger tractor for some of this equipment to move it around. I was hoping this isn't too tall. It is. Oh, man. We'll find another spot for this to hang out. I think right behind these bins for now. Unfortunately. And that's a nice home for the planter there. Let's go get the seeder as well and the rest of the equipment. Just slowly moving on over here. See if we can sneak this next to the planter. Yeah, looking good. That'll work right there. Now the height here is going to be an issue to put the combine away, isn't it? Yeah, we might be looking into some of our own sheds long term. Yeah, I think I need to think through a little bit here, but let's go ahead and head on in. Let's see. I don't know if we can even go in this house. I would be shocked if we couldn't. Yeah, nice garage here. We're going to have to get our own truck. Probably have a route away in the house here as well. So yeah, we can open that door. Then we have a little, oh, probably a water heater or something could go there. And oh, look at that carpet. It's nice old school. This would have been perfect for old school survival. Look at the piano. Little kitchen here. Do our laundry. Change our clothes. Nice. Nice layout. Don't see a bed icon or a sleep icon. Turn on lights. Nice. But it works. Much better than a tent. Oh, we can just walk through it. Okay, I see. Nice, some firewood out here, a grill, a little place to eat. Yeah, I just don't see the sleep trigger. But we'll figure that out. I think this is a good place to leave you guys. Figure out exactly what we want to do with this property. If we're going to sell some things off or if we're going to keep it as is. But yeah, it's been a fun one. Socks way up. Thanks for hanging out as we finish year 4 of our 10-year, 1 million liter oil challenge. I'll catch you on the next episode.